When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up all the teachers teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na, 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Wake up all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hair. They don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out. They do it every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na, 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Change it, yeah, change it, yeah, just you and me. Change it, yeah, change it. Can't do it alone, can't do it alone. Need some help, y'all. Can't do it alone, can't do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. Need a little help, y'all. Yes, I do. Need a little help. Say it, boy. Need some help, y'all. Change the world, what it used to be. Yeah. Can't do it alone, do it alone. Need some help, that. Need some help, that. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more about the thinking. Time of thinking ahead. Come on. Wake up, everybody. I'm talking about don't push out. Stop pushing that dope. Don't use up. Stop using the dope. cheating, stop cheating, stop cheating, stop cheating, stop cheating, stop cheating. Wake up, yeah, wake up, yeah, wake up, yeah, wake up, yeah, yeah, yeah. It don't matter, yeah, yeah. What race, creed or color, everybody, we need each other. Wake up, everybody. Well, see, we need, wake up, everybody. We need, wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Wake up, all of the teachers start to teach a new way. They're the ones that suffer each and every day. Teach the children, teach the baby, teach the babies, teach the children, teach the children, teach the babies, teach the children, teach the babies.
Already you still live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. riding through the ruts. Don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Come bury your dog, put your dream to reality. Yeah. All together now. Wake up and live. Yeah.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats Bess100.
Black people, keep your hands up. Emperor Selassie, I bless them. Burning fire never ends. Simplicity we used to survive. Men find it difficult because they ignorant enough. Simplicity we used to survive. Do what you doing properly. That's the way through life. Simplicity we used to survive. Men find it difficult because they ignorant enough. Simplicity we used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. It's not the one bag of vanity nor the animosity nor the hypocrisy nor democracy. It's nothing, lava lava nor the backstabber nor the vampire evil's desire. It's just a meditation of my heart. Pure and conscious thought. Be overstanding and be smart. Listen to the children speak the word and shine the light in the dark, yeah. Simplicity we used to survive. Men to find it difficult because they ignorant and die. Simplicity me used to survive. Do what you doing properly. That's the way through life. Simplicity I used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. Simplicity me used to survive. Burn Pharisees and scribes. Yeah. Avoid your anger, God for pause. Praise Rastafari and live a worthy cause. Give us all the blessing, give us all reward to help the poor and find it easy when them find it hard. Simplicity I used to survive, men don't find it difficult because they ignorant and die. Simplicity I used to survive, I shall live and love your life. Keep doing what you're doing, don't you grumble. See what you sow is what you reap, so be humble. Know what you're doing, you never stumble. Burn down Rome and side them crumble. Lead the way with the word that I speak. Never must you stray, praise the King in the east. Oh, I know what you teach, I am not the rich. Oh, yeah. Simplicity I used to survive. Men find it difficult because they ignorant and all. Simplicity I used to survive. Burn Pharisees and scribes. Simplicity I used to survive. Men find it difficult because they ignorant and all. Simplicity I used to survive. Oh, Galant Italian, it's not the one bag of vanity nothing, animosity nothing, hypocrisy nor democracy. It's nothing, lava lava nothing, but stabber nothing, vampire evil's desire. It's just a meditation of my heart. It's just a pure and conscious thought. Be overstanding, I tell you to be smart. Listen to the children and the speak and shine the light.
Life has its way of turning the gray skies blue. Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Thank you for joining us online and on air. Please remember, those of you who are joining us by whatever means you're joining us, do check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. We're trying to build the international listenership, viewership, so that we can extend our influence just beyond the shores of Jamaica. So bear that in mind for me. Please visit us online and subscribe to our channel. Nonetheless, thank you. We're so happy to be here. This is your host, Minett Lawrence, with me, Pastor Percival, in the studio at Bess100 FM. And it is our pleasure to usher in today, the 7th day of June 2022. You know, the number 7 is the number of perfection. So today we declare it is a perfect day. There are some very heavy subject matters on my mind this morning, and even as I was listening to the music, you know, it's warming up your spirit and getting you ready for the day. The last lyric that I heard was the way that the gray sky can turn blue. And I thought, my spirit is laboring under some heavy issues. Yesterday, one of our callers spoke about with democracy. I don't remember quite how it was phrased, but it had me revisiting the issue of how democracy can work in a post-colonial society to bring prosperity, to bring independence, to bring self-determination and true freedom to Jamaicans. Thinking about Jamaica specifically. So I have been seeking to merge a reconciliation of our history, meaning Jamaicans to be reconciled to an immediate or near history of slavery and domination, kind of a blighted independence, to look at it with critical eyes, but to suspend judgment and to strip away feelings of anger, but just to be intellectually curious about what that experience means for us as we move into a future that is brighter and better than where we're coming from. Of course, here, Percival and I speak constantly about the kingdom, the principles of the kingdom of God, taking into literal acceptance the statements by Jesus Christ whilst he was on earth here, that he came so we could have abundant life, to enjoy life that is full and rich and inclusive in every respect, life that confirms the freedom of man and the dignity of man. That is the promise. It is not a promise of what we're calling now Christian or religious redemption. It is a promise of actual redemption and inclusion and the creation of a society that functions in a way that brings true value to members of the society. This is the society in which the orphans and the widows, the poor, the oppressed, prisoners, all these persons who would normally be defenseless or suffering, where these persons have rights, where those rights are respected, and where they are actually cared for by those in the society that have resources. This is the kind of society that Christ spoke about, one that is powered by love and respect and equity. Now, that is very much a society in which the politics work, in which principles of democracy and inclusion and consensus or consultation, where those things actually work, where education is treated with the priority that it deserves, where children are truly educated in a purposeful and competent, more than competent actually. Children are educated with excellence and meaning. It's a society in which you won't wake up on a Tuesday morning and the headline says bloodbath, screams and tears after Spanish Town quadruple murder, and where in recent memory people are dropping dead like flies, persons are rendered homeless, 20% of the nation is described as squatters having no right to land, where citizens are crying out because a beach, a piece of riverfront land that has been a delight to citizens for generations, is being sold with no kind of explanation or understanding. It's the society that Christ desired to create, and that is the one in which he said to his disciples, "Go out and make disciples of all nations, teach them the way and the manner in which they can create this society. That's what he was about. So that's going to be the discussion this morning. How do we, with all the baggage and the harassment, the trials and the tribulations that we have endured, how do we pull ourselves up from that place and head to that place of abundant life? Good morning, Pastor Percival.
Morning, Min. How are you?
I am well. I am chatty.
You're chatty this morning. Even as we speak this morning, as we were coming down, we were conversing, my youngest and myself, and we were just reflecting on a bit of scripture, which says Jesus walked on the water. It was dark, and the thought was, even when you are going through the darkness, one of the things that keeps you going is the fact that you know that he is there with you. And it was saying, even the darkness, know that God is there, and the truth that you is revealed to you in the darkness. When you come out of the darkness, you must speak it in the light. Because somebody also once commented on the fact that when you are in darkness, that is when you know where your true north is and who do you look to give you the answers that you need. And it says, don't seek to create your own light. You need to continue to trust. Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And I believe the Creator is speaking to us. The Almighty God is speaking to us in this time and says, I've given you the light. The entrance of the knowledge of him brings light to the situation and dispels the darkness, because he has given us a blueprint as to how we must relate to every issue there is, knowing that he is the true north, and in relationship to him we find all the answers that we need. You spoke about the kingdom.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you spoke about the kingdom, and the kingdom really is about God's way of dealing with things. And it goes back to when Jesus summed up all of what had happened. He says, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, love your neighbor as yourself. And if we do that, a lot of the challenges we're having will help us to sort it out economically, politically, educationally, all the different things that are happening. Yeah. But we are going to help to point away that the darkness that seems to be descending, the light will come. And when there's light, darkness is dispelled. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you too.
Yes. Like your hat.
Oh, yes, this is a hot week. Please be prepared. I look on the video and you can hardly see my face.
Oh, my Lord.
I am going mafia.
Yes, you're going mafia.
Anyway, we skip past 6:30. It's now 6:31. I know it's time for the first break. So please stay with us. We're coming right back to you. This is the Morning Connection with Minett and Percival on Bess100 FM.
Mm-hmm.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Easy! Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer the truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Best FM.
Welcome back. Let me say a special good morning to the early risers and the early talkers. Mr. Basco, thank you for that comment, quite insightfully. He says, if the government were afraid of disturbing the consumer as they are afraid of disturbing business, this would be some democracy. Talking about equity between capital and labor.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be the way going forward.
Good
yeah.
morning to you. Also to Delroy Henry from UK. I just love your greetings. I really do. He says, Tuesday blessings. Acknowledging the good that you both already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Shout out to the world. UK love. So good morning to you.
Yeah,
giving us some
interesting.
UK love. And we see where the cleaner headline has done. What is that called again? Alliteration. Bludgeoned Boris. You know the B and the B?
Yeah.
Yeah, bludgeoned Boris survives no confidence vote. So he does look bludgeoned. Ooh,
Yeah,
where did they get
beat
that
him
picture?
apart. But somebody went into
Battered
the
him.
in the deep analysis of that and was saying.
Oh, let me just say, so good morning UK and good morning to Earl and good morning Toronto. These are the folks who have hit us up with some early comments and we thank you for it. It does keep us company before we open the lines to talk to persons. So, Leah, you want to talk about Boris?
But we mentioned it yesterday.
Yesterday, you sure did.
Talking about if we were to practice our politics the way that the people in UK did, then
yeah,
somebody
you said that. I don't want to
challenges.
practice anything like the UK.
No, I mean in terms of their principles, because people have resigned based on the fact that you cannot have two different laws. You have a law for the commoners, as they call them, and there's a different one for those in government. But a deeper dig into that, where we're saying the vote was like 170 something to 141. And they were saying if you really looked at it, he's in real problems because if you take out those who are MPs, permanent secretaries, and envoys, 75% of his own people were not confident in him. Because they were saying it was 41% in terms of it look at, but it says if a deeper dig, those who impay them.
148 MPs voted against him.
Yeah.
211 voted for him.
But
and they're saying of that 148, 75% of them were his.
No. The see the backing of 211, but they're saying if you take out the persons who are permanent secretaries, government ministers, and so on, it means that of the 211 persons who backed him, it would be greater because some of them he's holding on to the purse strings. So it says 75% of his party really didn't vote for him. The guys were in the house.
Yeah, but so what you're looking at, you should be looking at the makeup of the 148
no, because,
MPs
it would be
who
Labour.
voted against him.
It would be Labour and some of his own MPs who didn't vote for him. That's what the person was saying. Yeah. So he's in real deep trouble there. Yeah, so we say in Jamaica, tips, take sleep and
Mark that.
Yeah.
Anyway, a win is a win. He won.
I mean, I know if a win is a win.
Tell that to the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
That's serious problems. So I guess if there was we can have no confidence vote in our parliament.
Didn't they? Who called for one? Was it Mr. Siaga?
I don't recall.
Man, we can have it.
We can have the same thing here.
Yes, there was a no confidence vote in Jamaica that did he call for it and lose, or he called for it and won narrowly? Whatever. But yes, you can have it here.
Okay.
can have it here. But as you're rightly saying, if most of the persons who are voting, you pay them, then
you know, serious problem.
yeah, you can confidently call a no confidence. Being still, I believe Earl Brown say 211 is a majority. Argument done.
You can't say
Yeah,
anything
win is
more.
a win. He has won, but as you say, he may be weakened, and therefore, now that you know, like he knows who the one. Well, maybe it was a secret ballot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he knows now that 148. That 148 know that they only need to get about what 60 more persons,
And then and change it. Yeah.
and they can get it in. Truth to Power says, "Blessed morning to all. Had Trump not become president, Johnson would have resigned from day one. Trump has shown all the indecent leaders that you can tough it out and survive." I shouldn't laugh.
I'm just thinking about it.
Well, yeah, I
I'm
mean,
thinking about it. Yeah.
yeah. Trump showed that there are no sacred cows.
Yeah.
You can slaughter anything and lay it on the altar. Something that requires a great deal of personal courage or madness, but it can be done. And he has done it. Still, I want us to just spend a little more time looking closely at how democracy can function in our society with its peculiarities to give us the desired result. Some would say democracy is functioning now because we have general elections and they are considered free and fair. We are not under naked occupation by criminal forces. But when you look at the headlines, it would seem that what's happening to us is more insidious than naked occupation by criminal forces. Some might say that our economy maintains some level of structure and is organized. But when you look at the quality of life enjoyed by the majority of Jamaicans, serious questions arise. So it does require well-thinking Jamaicans to closely examine what it is we are doing, what we need to change so that we can get to that, that place. When I look at our environment, I mean, if you drive through the city or if you drive through Jamaica, you see such extensive areas that appear to be barren, meaning we have not exercised any control over organizing or utilizing those areas in an appropriate way. I drive through communities and I mean long stretches of road, one or two houses in the far distance, no sidewalks, no light, no street light, minimal infrastructure in those areas. In some places, the road really bad. In some, you barely can tell that there is electricity, and for sure, there's no running water. Stretches of land in Jamaica where you have road. No transportation, organized transportation to speak of. One or two cars hustling and, looking more dangerous than useful. You look for healthcare. And so when you see communities like that, you know that if people are sick, if people have emergencies of a certain sort, it's not easy for them to get to the care or the services that they require. Then you go through some small towns, and the extent of the town is a very busy stretch of roadway with many, many bars and haberdasheries, and you look at the buildings that are not obviously run down, are badly painted, and you're not driving through communities which seem to be vibrant and alive. You see signs of strain and stress. And then on top of that, we are layering on expensive highways and infrastructure of a sort that seems unnatural in such close proximity to areas of low growth or absent growth. It looks unnatural. There are parts of Jamaica that look unnatural, don't look organic, don't seem. It seems as if there's a brain somewhere that is forcefully creating another Jamaica, which is not emanating naturally and progressively from the people. And then if you watch the news report on television, TVJ, last night, and saw and heard how people were expressing themselves concerning this sale of land that is taking place in Alligator Pond. One morning on this program, I'm going to say prophetically said, we're going to be selling the rivers next. When they run out of beach, they're going to sell the rivers. And one of our callers from Santa Cruz said, there is a threat against Alligator Pond. That threat was very real, very imminent, has been fully exposed now, and really came out of, I think, much as some people bash the journalists, I think it was exposed by journalists doing their report. TVJ has a lovely program now called In Focus, where they're seeking to do more of what looks like investigative journalism. But when you might laughingly say, they're going to try sell the rivers, I know because of a relationship I have with a piece of river in a sand mining community. I know that the ordinary citizen cannot just exercise uninhibited control over the river. I know that. Yet you have someone who has 37 acres of land, part of which is the river frontage, and the land currently being used by the community in a particular way, and this was happening kind of behind their backs, advertised for sale, and the citizens are protesting, but you get the sense right away that this is going to be just one other thing that happens.
Like one other thing in terms of the
they're going to talk a little bit, and the cameras will follow it for a season, and then soon and very soon it will be boarded up and so on and so forth. I speak against it. It is my sincerest hope that the brashness and the boldness of this move will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If you noticed, it was ordinary citizens. Did you watch the news? Did you see it? You saw the coverage? Okay. But you no doubt persons will be speaking about it this morning. It was just ordinary folks speaking well, explaining their relationship with the land, how long they've been using it. And I was left thinking that I am one person who desires to see modern development take place in communities. I desire to see it. But at the same time, persons should not be taken by surprise by something that you say is good for them. How on earth can it be good for me and I'm the last one to know? It don't make any sense.
No, but that's what we talk about. It is not a local phenomenon. It is an international phenomenon where a group of people come together and they decide based on their money, based on their education, that they know, the 5% know what is best for the other 95%. That's what it is. It is the elitists who determine, because of my education, I know what is best for you. You are a fool, an idiot. Shut up and just do what I tell you to do. That's what it speaks to. And you have governments around the world aided by capital and the intellectual class who continue to do that. And we must put a stop to it.
So this farcical democracy or mock democracy, which we have imported from Europe and our colonial masters. We need to defang it.
Yes. And it has to be a common uprising against the people. That's why we speak at all times to empowerment of the individual so they can critically take decisions, but do it in community with other people who feel the same way.
Who share the same.
Yes, man.
Yeah. We haven't talked about 1660 for a spell, largely because some of the resources which are working quietly in the background.
Yes.
But the great idea behind a 1660 project is the galvanizing of community focus and interest so that a common design can emerge. I believe that it is time for each community in Jamaica, all communities in Jamaica, to consider what it is they desire for themselves. Create a vision, articulate a vision, put it out there so that they can work towards it in harmony. I do not believe that there is a national vision that trickles down. I believe that there has to be smaller, concentrated visionary work at the ground level that works its way to the top as a national vision, where those whom we elect or those whom we appoint to serve us can give effect to that vision.
But if the leaders truly come from the people, they would have been so aware of what is happening in their communities that they just saying, oh, but this is what, and they bring it together and say, this is what the people are saying. And the truth is, Minett, there are some things that are common to every human being. Some people have a strong sense about what justice means, about what is right and wrong, about being our brother's keepers. And if those simple principles are infused in terms of in people individual within their families and communities, the natural vision for that country will flow out of those principles that every person holds as sacred to them. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where it needs to come from. Because if you were to do a survey around Jamaica and find out what it is that you want for yourself, some simple things would come out, like I have a home, my children to be properly educated, for me to feel safe and secure where I live, that I don't feel threatened. And those are simple things that everybody wants for themselves. And so if you galvanize the vision around those simple principles that everybody holds there, you don't really have a problem in terms of governance and setting things in place that will drive the vision. What do you think?
Earl Brown is asking who's going to lead the charge for a common uprising.
We're beginning it.
Yeah. And Keon says 2 cheers for democracy. 1, because it admits variety, and 2, because it permits criticism.
That's true.
Yeah. And we're not knocking democracy in and of itself. Democracy, like water, finds its own level, and it adjusts its shape and form to the peculiarities of the people who seek to practice it. If you take democracy as practiced in America, UK, and import it with the rules that have been developed in those societies, and you import it, or we didn't import it, they export it, because when our constitution was, rustled up, it came with some principles embedded in it, which were foreign to us. We had never been exposed to that because we had been under a system of slavery where we had no self-determination, we had no financial independence, and we were simply, reluctantly or otherwise, following orders, like in the army. When you export or import, you have to kind of unbox it and test the various aspects of it against your own circumstance. I do not believe that Jamaica has done that. I think we're still in that place of trying to be faithful to what we received in 1962.
Before 1962, because it was just a continuation, but they cut off the purse string.
Right. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Right. I think what we did to kind of deepen the horror of it or make it more complex and more difficult to escape, we then layered in notions, a deep stream of religiosity to really anchor it now. We associate those things and obedience to those things with obedience to God. And that made it harder because once it got into that space of being ordained or divine or ordered by God, it become even harder to shake because in truth, man is first and foremost spiritual.
And even something that you were challenging in the earlier in terms of how do we translate our belief and our faith in God to bring about real change within the society. For a very long time, for people of faith, we have done a separation between what happens on a Saturday, Sunday, or a Friday, between what happens in
Monday to Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is so unfortunate because in reading and understanding it, he says, I'm the God of all flesh, of all things. And the principles that he has exposed to us in terms of being good neighbors and so on is not separated, because it's like you're saying, okay, the way that I operate on those days in terms of being pious does not come into play when I go to work in terms of
how I carry out my job functions
and my business, how I relate to my family and my children. There's no separation because there is no separation in God. He is one.
So even the separation of church and state is an artificial construct that deepens the crisis.
Yeah. And people have said it, and part of the thing. So if principles of righteousness and justice, it's not only for Sunday, Saturday, or Friday, it is a principle that goes every single day. So, Minett, how I treat you on a Monday should be the same way that I treat you on a Sunday, because you're my sister.
Always.
Yes, it doesn't change a fact. So what I'd want for you, for myself, is the same thing I'd want for you. And that becomes important.
Yeah, I'm very thoughtful on the subject because a number of things have been sort of pricking at my consciousness in recent times. Chief among them, the power of prayer, the effectiveness of prayer, and the value of unity in prayer. Prayer being the means by which we communicate with the divine. Whether you are on your knees or you're driving your car right, just that communication with the divine. And I have concluded that mostly, while we know prayer to be effective, we are not seeing the overwhelming effectiveness of prayer. And I'm curious as to why we have so many churches in Jamaica and righteous people praying. I presume they're praying for the same things, yet we are not seeing it at the level that we should see it. Meaning, when the prophet Elijah took his mantle and struck the water, it separated. It didn't, drip by drip slow down or ease so he could walk through. It separated. When Moses struck the Red Sea, the same thing happened. People walked through on dry land, not in mud and grime, on dry land. So we know that there is a power to transform things that is immediate, total, complete, effective. I believe those things. And I've seen other things happen when other persons draw on that power, call on that power. It is immediate. There's no doubt about it. People get up out of a wheelchair and walk. Blind people begin to see. Those who I've seen a belly heave with a baby that was not moving, and I've seen the baby move in response to a specific and direct application of contact. With mine own eyes, I have seen it. Stand up in the room and look at it. It was not any kind of illusion, or I've spoken to persons who have had their own direct experience. They're not making it up. It's not some smoke and mirror kind of thing. I have had my own personal experience of things that are beyond any kind of logical explanation happening right there on the spot immediately. So I know that it is real. I know it's there. And I know that many people in Jamaica feel the same way. Yet we're getting bloodbath. We're getting all kinds of horror stories playing out right here in our land. And so I have to ask, what are we missing? Why aren't we tapping into this and experiencing more of it? So that's been on my mind, and I've been searching and researching, and one of the things that has come up very forcibly, one, we are not united in the things that we seek.
Unity.
When all of us are seeking the same thing, or many of us, or two or three of us are seeking the same thing, it moves.
It happens.
It happens. If you and I decide that tomorrow we are going downtown to do X, and we act on it, tomorrow you and I will be downtown doing the very thing we say we're going to do. Because not only do we speak about it and agree on it, but we then take up with foot in our hand and move.
That's so, our faith put.
Absolutely. Faith in action. So I realized that. Oh, I got the signal.
For the break.
For the break. Oh, well, you know what? I'm obedient. Please stay with us. We are going to be right back. We're going to break it, This morning, we're going to be one step closer.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Doing business in Jamaica almost always requires some form of national identification. Accepted forms of ID include your driver's license, passport, or voter's ID card. Some entities may even require two forms of ID, which may pose a challenge since aside from your passport, not all currently accepted forms of ID are readily available to everyone. The National Identification System NIDS is aiming to solve this problem, as it will be a reliable and secure way of verifying an individual's identity. The NIDS project is now in the final phases of implementation, with a pilot set to be rolled out in Kingston later this year.
We expect, Madam Speaker, to have our first NIDS enrollment site in Kingston, that first site will be ready by August 2022, and that we will have an additional 5 enrollment sites in Kingston before the end of the year.
Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, providing an update on the NIDS project during his contribution to the 2022-23 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives recently.
Continuing on that trajectory, Madam Speaker, we will expand beyond our pilot, which will start in Kingston and St. Andrew, and we will put in an additional 8 sites in early 2023 in Greater Portmore, Mandeville, Old Harbour, Black River, Morant Bay, Ocho Rios, Port Maria, and of course, Montego Bay. By the mid-2023, Madam Speaker, we expect that all other parish capitals will have enrollment sites.
Minister Green says the government will be partnering with Jamaica Post to use the spaces at the post offices as enrollment sites.
24 post offices across the country will be significantly modernized because we're going to host our national identification system in their offices. I want to really thank Mr. Lincoln Allen, who is the Postmaster General, because he has been a really good partner on this process.
The pilot aims to ensure that all glitches are resolved early prior to the island-wide rollout.
The enrollment process is clear, hassle-free, and it will mark the stage of our digitally advanced lives. Madam Speaker, we are learning from other countries, their successes and their pitfalls, and building a system for Jamaicans by Jamaicans.
The technology infrastructure that supports enrollment, vetting, and card personalization on the NIDS is about 90% complete. The design of the new National Identification Card has been unveiled with special security features to protect its integrity and prevent fraud. The government will conduct a series of sensitization sessions to ensure members of the public are aware of the security features of the new card.
The National Identification Card will have 26 security features, spanning level 1, 2, and 3. The National Identification Card is a polycarbonate card with the identity data engraved, Madam Speaker, which means that no one can physically alter the card without it being noticeable.
Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green. He says the government will seek to amend key pieces of legislation to allow the new National ID card to serve as proof for licensed drivers. That was an update on the National Identification System NIDS. I'm Andre Palmer. Thank you for listening.
Rio Grande to the South Coast. Hotel workers and man we're off boat. This a for the craft vendors, red cap porters and transportation at airport. Jamaica tourism pension plan, building towards the future. For tourism workers across the island, retirement benefits to contributions. Every worker in the industry, permanent self-employed contract. For your service you deserve security. Yes you do. Tourism workers pension plan, build a bright future. Yes you can. Tourism workers pension plan, workers invest through contributions. All tourism workers, age 80 to 59. Tourism workers pension plan.
Start making your contributions for a brighter future.
For further information, visit mot.gov.jm or call 876-920-4926-30.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Come in, my DJ,
and give the people the information. Hear this: before a hurricane come, you have to go through a list of things where you need and things where have to fix, like your roof, your doors and your window them. Buy your nails, hooks and fasteners and fix them. Get your hammer, your pliers, your rope and your wire. Stock up with ply and a whole heap of lumber. Plastic tarpaulin and plastic bag. Kerosene stove and a coal stove. Kerosene lamp, matches and candle. Yo, trim the tree them and clean the drains. That's how you prepare before a hurricane. Be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Better listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection, and welcome back to Minett and Percy's discussion on democracy and what it is that Jamaica needs to do in order for us to actually reap the benefits.
Yeah, for
of
all
a
of us.
democratic
Earl asked,
society.
do you know what England gave
Earl
Jamaica?
said, Pastor Palmer,
Do
do you know what England gave Jamaica for independence?
We are
Day?
asking you, brother Earl. What was it?
You're waiting for him to answer?
Yeah, man, him need to answer.
And the emperor says, churches, fake pastors, fake, no results. I see the word fake twice.
They say churches are fake, pastors are fake, therefore no results.
No results, yes. He's answering my question.
And I'm just wondering about that too. I plead what, the fifth?
No. When you plead the fifth, it means you're guilty. And you don't want to incriminate yourself.
No, but for some of us who have experienced the miraculous in terms of stuff and happenings, we know. But I hear your heart cry, which it must be more widespread across.
Yes,
the
and,
that's what
and
we're
the emperor is right.
Yeah,
there are many persons professing a faith they don't truly believe or practice.
That's correct.
And as a consequence, they have nothing to show for it.
Right. But the early church
let me
never
tell
had
you,
that,
you can tell that my voice is under a little bit of pressure. I've been kind of staving off a sore throat for 4 or so days. And I've not taken one single synthetic medication.
Mm-hmm.
I've used honey, and I've used what is it? The vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And above all else, I have put my own hands on my throat, and I said, Lord, you know that I need to speak on X or Y this morning.
And He's touched it.
And I step forth and I speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you on one occasion, we were having a prayer session for children. And I was talking about sexual abuse and domestic abuse as it affects children, trying to come to unity on what it is that we want to see change. And it's like something lodged in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and I just switched to another level. I don't know what words I was speaking, honestly, Percy, and it dislodged, and I continued. No, to be able to speak while like, I don't know if it's saliva or ear or whatever, to come out of a coughing fit. Usually when that happens, your voice goes because your vocal cords kind of lose the ability to vibrate for a spell because of the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not lose even a minute in it. So I'm saying that I have my own experience of powering through all kinds of adversities, fueled by only one thing: faith.
Mm-hmm.
And the sincere, deep-rooted belief in my spirit that this is not my death. This is not the moment of my death. I will not accept it. I will not bow to it. I am going to push myself to another level of performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I move. So I know it is possible.
And I've experienced it too. But
what it takes, and this is where I go with the emperor.
Mm-hmm.
The emperor says, you will not see results if you lack sincerity.
If you lack faith.
And I'm translating what he says because I understand it at the heart. If you lack sincerity and wholeheartedness in what you are doing, it will not give you the desired result. And it don't matter what it is. It don't matter how talented you are. It don't matter how much you desire it as a personal achievement. It will not deliver the benefits. That is why we'll spend $100 million in Denham Town, or say we have spent $100 million in Denham Town, and Denham Town will remain. In fact, it will get worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't take those soldiers out of Denham Town, I don't have to be a prophet to tell you disaster is going to strike.
Because the motivation is wrong.
Yeah.
Out of the heart, your mouth will speak. So even if you confess, then you begin to walk in it. It will happen. So you have to make sure that there's unity in terms of your thoughts, but in terms of your declaration and in terms of your action. So then, and what it requires to, of course, knowledge. It starts with knowledge. Right. So you have the knowledge. So you have to have the knowledge that these are the things required in order for you to be transformative in your actions. And once you have that knowledge, then you need that unity now of word and deed. Because the Hebrew said, he who comes to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder. So it begins with a unity. You can't have any doubt. You can't have any doubt in terms of what God has said. It will manifest and become a reality. So one thing that jumps, Psalms 133, unity releases the blessing. Unity releases a blessing. And one of the things that has happened is that we are so divided about what needs to happen. So when Jesus was leaving, he says, Father, I pray that they will be one as we are one. And as a follow-up to us being one, then you'll begin to see the things that he spoke about being manifested, not only in your personal life, but be manifested at the community level, at the national level. We are so divided about a lot of things, even in the church with the denominations. Do you know that there are churches who still believe that the ministry of the Holy Spirit is not for today? Yes. Yes, I've heard that. I've seen people. I said, no, man, you. Yet they believe that God is unchangeable. Yeah. And they believe he's all powerful and he's omnipresent and but they believe that what he did 2,000 years ago is not that time. It was only in changing mind about. But in changing mind. Yeah. Right. So yes, you are touching on some of the religious dogma that keeps us bound. As I said, there is that whole cocktail of religiosity that has been used to even divide us further. Yeah. Because when you have 20 people believing 20 different things about 20 different contradictory things, because you could each believe one thing and the one thing is true. But when you have 20 people believing contradictory things about the same God, how are you going to serve him wholeheartedly and transform? Yes, so that has become a weapon. So the very word of salvation has been weaponized to become not funny. Yeah, to become a source of destruction. I was very struck because we've just come out of Pentecostal Sunday. We're in one accord. So having come out of that, I'm now looking at what was it then that the apostles, how did they behave in the aftermath of that? And if you know the story in the book of Acts chapter 4, they had performed this great miracle. The lame man who was begging alms at Gate Beautiful, and the man was 40 years old, so not a child that could be confused about his experience. And I understand. He was cavorting all over the village, the town, telling everybody about his great experience. So of course the high society leaders, teachers, priests brought them in to find out what it is they had done. What struck me about Peter and John's response is kind of where they rested themselves. Of course, they were told, don't speak about it. Don't tell anybody, the basis on which you did this thing. And it brought back to mind my being told, when I was being told that I shouldn't
teach other people how to do a thing that I had done for Jamaica. We'll talk about that another time. But sitting right there in the U.S. Trade Department, they expressed themselves discreetly that their great concern is that Jamaica would be teaching others, leading the way for others to commit the same act of rebellion. This is the Universal Access Fund. And Jamaica's Universal Access Fund is a one of a kind. Nobody else, certainly no one else in the region, has done it to this point. I must check because up to no one else had done it. But they express themselves that way. Don't show anybody else how to do it. Peter and John were told, stop this nonsense of telling people that Jesus Christ, whom we just crucified,
is resurrected,
has been resurrected and has left his disciples with the power to do these remarkable things. But Peter and John replied, which is right in God's eyes, to listen to you or to him? You be the judges. As for us, we cannot help speaking about what we have seen and heard. So it is clearly a time for persons who have seen change, who have heard the recipe for change, who have the knowledge about how this change can be accomplished. We need to speak
not only
what we have seen and heard. And of course, use the power, use the authority.
It's time to act. It's time to act. And
I woke you up. I see you have it open. Bring it up, man.
No, it's time to act. But the important principle in all of what we're doing is the power of unity. Unity. And if you think it's a joke, remember the people were at Tower of Babel.
Yes.
Because they were in one accord about to do things. And they say if they do it, there's nothing that they cannot do. And so we need to understand the power of unity. And Jesus prayed that prayer.
That we may be one.
That we may be one. So wake up, church. Wake up, Jamaica. The principle carries across any sphere.
Where I am now, Pastor Percival, we got to do it without the church.
No, what?
The church, meaning we can't wait. That's what I mean. The church needs to come along, but we can't sit back and say the church needs to start it.
No, and I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
It's a wake-up call.
Yeah, man, I heard you. It's just because you said wake up church first.
Wake up church, wake up Jamaica.
But it's all of
talk
us
about
need
the principle,
to work out.
principle of unity that is needed to deal with a lot of the things that are being thrown at us, like eat cake.
Oh, we're going to come to the eating of cake. Earl Brown wants to know, is it tradition or true that
it's true? It's true.
Yes, it's true, and he asked for it. Yeah. He says he cannot die the same death as his Lord, so they should do it upside down. They were only too happy to oblige, and not just him. Someone else, another apostle was crucified upside down.
Yeah, so the only one that survived was John.
Emperor says, I think these lodge houses play a big part in murdering Jamaicans. I tell you, secret societies, even that, the secrecy of it is part of its effectiveness. Yes, part of its power. All right. So I went to the book of Acts, really, even as it is named, the Acts of the Apostles. It's what they did.
The acts of the Holy Spirit.
It's what they did. Earl Brown says unity like on the day of Pentecost. Yes. The producer have a very corny joke, which I will share. He says they were, what was it again? They were in one accord.
The first time it is mentioned.
Oh, the vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you have it too?
Yes.
They were all in one accord. It's a clown car.
So it's firmer.
Yeah.
Acts
all right.
2:1 says.
Yeah.
When the day of Pentecost, they were all together in one place, one accord.
Your version take out the motor vehicle.
Yeah.
All right. There are some things that we've joined others in calling for. One of them has broken this morning, and I pray that it having broken, meaning it's reported in the news this morning, we don't just walk away and say, all right, see. So we now know that it is taxpayers' money that is funding the Commonwealth campaign travels. I had said yesterday that it is Miss Johnson Smith herself who needs to announce it, and she has. It is reported in today's Gleaner that taxpayers are footing the bill of Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kamina Johnson-Smith's bid for the post of Secretary General of the Commonwealth. It was confirmed on Monday. In a press statement, Johnson-Smith stated that travel costs are being met through the budget of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other support is being provided by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Tell us something.
No financing has been provided by other governments, the foreign minister said. Like we thought that was being provided by other governments. That's not our concern, Ms. Johnson-Smith. We want to know if it's you paying for it personally, which would be right and proper because it is a personal contract you would be taking. We want to know if it's your husband paying for it, and if it's him being a construction man, a businessman, what does it mean in relation to possible commitment, since all of Jamaica is celebrating the prospect of your taking this job and the country benefiting. And I am sure that your opponents in the race want to know who's paying for it so they could do their own investigation and make a determination as to whether or not your tenure in that office would be circumspect. We are not concerned about other governments paying for it, not the least bit, because we were fairly certain that no other government would be paying for it. Anyway, the Gleaner sought for several weeks answers from Johnson-Smith regarding the race for office, including financing, but no response was forthcoming. Well, I would say that the Morning Connection broke her silence. I'm sorry, we're not taking credit for it.
No, but
we're just being facetious.
But of a truth. So if I'm working and somebody need to explain to me the protocol, like Pamela Cook, who works in Geneva.
Yes.
You remember her?
Yes.
When she got those things, it was based on her expertise, and she never had to be what?
And she was coming out of a government job?
Yeah. Lobbying.
She didn't have to campaign for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
she wasn't voted in, so there's no need for a campaign. Mm-hmm. Then she says, there are no secrets around the financing of this campaign. We remain fully committed to transparency and accountability. The cost of the campaign will therefore be reported at the campaign's conclusion, Johnson-Smith said. The Foreign Affairs Minister also thanked all Jamaicans who continue to express their support and encouragement for the campaign. Well, I suspect some Jamaicans, now that they know they are paying for the campaign, may not be as expressive in their support, because I don't think anybody thought they would be paying for that campaign. She's taking a contract, if she succeeds, in her own name. The $40 million per year that she will earn, not a dime of it is going to be coming to the taxpayers of Jamaica. And she's not going into the job with any commitment to do anything special for Jamaica, because if she did, she couldn't get the job. If she goes into that job, she will be serving 54 nations. And Jamaica could not be special amongst the 54.
So it's just for the pomp and pageantry of saying common Secretary General.
And to know that she is being funded by the Office of the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it's shameful. Does that mean at the end of it, when they tally up the bill, she'll pay it back? Just like how she wanted those students in Ukraine to borrow money to come home?
Because it's in that context too.
If you want students to borrow money for airfare, so they could come out of a country that has gone into military conflict, why would you not then be prepared out of your own pocket to pay for your campaign to take a job? It's a job she's going for. And if she pretends to be partisan in her preference to Jamaica, when she execute that job, she can't get the job.
So that raises more questions than answers. She answered the question, but more questions are being raised in terms of to what extent, because it's not like is Jamaica going to become Commonwealth.
She should pay it back. You understand that when the tax authority of Jamaica goes out to audit people to see whether you were true in the calculation of your taxes, any place they see that you cheated the government, they claw it back.
They take it back.
They take it back. So how could we as a nation allow one woman to spend our money for her campaign for a job. And she says it as if it's the most natural thing in the world. There are no secrets around the financing of this campaign. When the Gleaner said they were searching for direct answers for weeks. Well, I had no doubt that Jamaica was paying for the campaign.
Okay, so the response is, let them eat bulla. Bulla is very expensive anyway.
Over bread.
Let them eat bulla.
Cake.
Not
Look
cake.
at that.
Let them eat bulla.
People are suffering in every kind of way. And one woman is traveling the world on our dime to get a job. Well, Jamaica, Earl Brown say if Kamina get the job, where will she pay income tax? She better pay it in England.
Where's the office?
In England. There's a whole house. If you research it, they have a whole property dedicated to it. The Queen make good accommodation for the Commonwealth Secretary General. She'd be living in England.
Okay.
She wouldn't even be here where we could go harass her about some one thing or another. So, Kamina, since we pay for you to get the job, can we please have so and so? No, she won't even be here.
Yeah. And people might say it's
Oh,
bad
my
mind. It's
Lord.
not bad mind. It's raising the property.
Oh, it is Earl you borrowed from. I see Earl says, let them eat bulla. Let them nyam bulla, is what she's saying to us. Oh, boy.
No, sir.
Lowell, you get some greetings from the Emperor. He says, I must big up my king husband. You're large. Thank you for showing love to the producer.
Yeah, but to my mind, it raises more questions than answers.
But in
has
the
there been a precedent for this before?
I don't know. I'd almost imagine there'd be a precedent for the opposite. There would have been people clamoring to make sure that this is not what is happening when so-and-so is going to get a foreign job. That might look good to say, oh, so-and-so is a Jamaican. Like, the Vice President of the United States has Jamaican roots. Yeah, they look good to say it, but could they fix us with the cost? No. Yeah. I am dying to hear from, dying is a...
No, you're not dying. You're anxious.
I am longing to hear. I am longing to hear from our listener Wayne in Taw's Pen, because we see the news. Taw's Pen residents were still stunned by Sunday night's attack. 4 men dead. Terrible, terrible, terrible. There's nothing about it that is redeeming for Jamaica.
And the gentlemen were
We cannot lose any more of our sons.
Yeah.
We can't lose any more of our sons. And everybody's saying these were hardworking men. One man says is entrepreneurs, is businessmen them kill. Is men who were looking to do great things in the community. Taken by gunmen. Wayne, please call us so we know that you're okay. Or somebody, just call us and let us know.
It's a very long way.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And
we're at the 7:30 break, so I don't want
to. There's a pattern that is emerging.
All right, let's take our break and then we'll be right back.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
easy. Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, and lies prefer to truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record Label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
Hey, hey, hey! Bess100 FM and the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill presents an auction and telethon on June 23rd, 2022. You don't want to miss the sweet deals on designer vintage items, appliances, art pieces, and more. Go to our Instagram page at SOSVillage_auction and bid on your favorite items. That's SOSVillage_auction. Place as many bids as you can until June 23rd, the day of the event. Call us on the day to make pledges and other donations. Entertainment by the Morning Connection team. All proceeds will go to the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back, and good news to those who are waiting to hear about the plan for legal and constitutional reform. The minister, Malahoo Ford, Queen's Counsel, is expected today to unveil the Holness administration's legislative plans to break with the British monarchy and to establish Jamaica as a republic. She'll be speaking in the House. I guess that's what that is. At a post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House in April, Malahoo Fort made it clear that Jamaicans should not build up their hopes for a transition from the monarchy this year to coincide with the 60th anniversary of independence in August. Well, she's an optimistic one. The legislative process to achieve republic status and break with the monarchy involves changes to deeply entrenched provisions in the Constitution, which trigger a 3-month period between the date when the bill is tabled in Parliament and the start of the debate. There was something else that most recently the opposition party were complaining that the government was insisting on this 3-month period for another change to a piece of legislation. I don't recall.
You had said you don't have to do that. You just
Yeah.
do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do. If you have unity,
You put it on the table and have
and it's
to
stay there
for
for
3
3
months.
months. So anybody who want to upset it,
My
you can upset it. Yeah,
Granny would
Pastor,
say-
we never spoke about the police, the reaction of the police to this ruling of the court, which pretty much gave with one hand and took with the other. Isn't that a familiar thing these days?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Constitutional Court ruled that the police are in fact entitled to overtime, but said that the measure of damages for the overtime was the 10 extra hours that they had agreed to in successive wage settlement agreements
Ruling
that they had
came
with the
when
government.
it was said yesterday.
No, man, this is from either Friday. I think it's
June.
probably about Friday last week, because
So the
it was
police
reported
them
on.
clean.
No, they were claiming they said they're owed $40 billion for overtime, actual overtime hours over whatever period of time they've been claiming it. But they had consistently agreed to accept apparently 10 hours because there was some. So you work overtime. The truth is your employer knows say you work overtime, but because you were not clocking in to be able to calculate with certainty how many hours were worked, the government has said it is difficult to calculate how many hours are worked. So take 10 hours.
Okay.
And they have accepted the 10 hours.
And now?
And the court then tells them that because they accepted the 10 hours, that's the measurement of their loss.
Okay, so what does that mean? I'm going to give them back the 40
And they've
billion
given
dollar?
no, the 40 billion was based on the police estimating that, all right, you've been paying me for 10, but I really worked, say, I'm just picking a number because I don't know the actual number. You are paying me for 10 and I agree to accept 10, but I really worked 30.
Okay.
You follow?
So the court is saying
So
that
the court
because
is
it's
saying
them in
because you accept the 10,
that's what you get.
that is the measure of your damages. In your accepting the 10, you were also accepting that it is difficult to calculate the actual amount due to you. The problem I have with it is
Good
this.
faith.
And
Good faith.
yes,
That's what it was about.
Yes.
In good faith.
Yeah.
Came to that agreement.
Not only that, if you now say to the police that when you accept a compromise position, you're going to be held to it on the day of reckoning, how will they ever come to a compromise? I wouldn't compromise anything with them.
Would never come to
Because
compromise
it would
again.
mean precisely.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that you're in an unequal bargaining position. When the Minister of Finance say $1 you get, and you are there hotting up your head and trying to get $1.50, the government simply walks away at $1. So when you go to court now, and court is supposed, remember, you have separation of powers. So the judiciary is not constrained or in awe of the political power of the executive government. So the judiciary should be able to say, no, that's not right. So the man them under stress and them work more than 10. When you say 10, it's not because you think it's 9, but you're being nice. It's maybe 30, 15, whatever. It's more.
Let me say something.
When the court cannot
help
rise to the level of bringing fairness and equity between government and civil servants, that democracy and that the separation of power not working. That's my belief.
But you're true. You're correct in the state. You're correct in your statement in terms of what you have said. And it goes back to good faith.
Good faith.
And that's what I pick up from what you're saying. I was trying to see if I was understanding. It's in good faith. You do something in good faith because you think you are going to be right. You're going
One
to be,
day.
Yeah.
And remembering on all this, apparently the government was promising to introduce a system that would actually clock the time.
And they've never done that.
So the court has given them, must say 1 year. But whatever the time the court has given them, it's the time they said it would take.
Yeah, but
so for years you have been promising to do something.
And the court gave the government 1 year.
And the court gave them the time which they asked for to introduce the system of clocking in the police, so you could have a precise calculation of overtime.
So what happened to what that's gone before?
That's gone. The court said the measurement is what you accepted. You came to an agreement that you would take 10 hours, so that's that. But what has caught my attention is that the police are not letting it go. Mr. Rowan James said they owe me $40 billion.
That's
they
what I was
owe
asking.
us. He maintains. He says, yes, the court gave, but we are owed $40 billion. And I admire him for that.
Based on the agreement. Let's try to get him on the program.
We can, yes, so he can speak to us again.
Okay.
Because I'd like to go beneath the skin. So you see, when we are talking democracy and we have such a deficit of trust and understanding between important parts of government, it's not going to work. Because is that same police have to go deal with Taw's pen? Is that same police have to deal with every kind of horror that is spilling out in that part of the administration of justice, keeping our people secure? And on the same day or in the same season that is happening, we have Miss Kamina Johnson-Smith spending a small fortune getting about around the world trying to get a job. And a taxpayer money she use.
Eat bulla.
So we're always gonna have that we're gonna have that problem.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it and we believe that the issues are divorced from each other. They are not. All of what is happening is part and parcel of democracy, the demonstration of democracy in our society, and how we live and how we coexist together. Because if I can't trust you in a minute, Mean a serious problem. Yeah. Trust that you're gonna do good towards me because your intentions and motivations are good towards me.
Earl Brown is asking if other countries have problems with their police working overtime. I think most other jurisdictions have a system for paying for overtime work. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
But you can tell us what's happening
in Canada.
Royal Metropolitan, the Royal Goiter?
The RMCP or something.
Yeah.
the Canadian police.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Each page you turn, you are seeing something more horrible than the last. A 77-year-old man disappeared 2 days ago. Yes. His body was found, partially burned, and his nephew is being sought. Now, of course, we talk about domestic violence by family member against family member. We can't sit back and say, oh, it's only the criminals, them. Or what is happening in Jamaica is deeper, more pervasive.
So here's what this is. Listen to this. So the nephew chops up the gentleman, put him in 2 suitcases, gets into a taxi, and came to a location, and then burned the man.
And he was seen heading into the woodland with suitcase and gasoline.
That he was moving out. So they catch him then.
Well, they don't know he's being sought. It says nephew is being sought by the police as a prime suspect. Wow. Well, I tell you, Marie has coined a new word. I just got a shift. She says there's no democracy in Jamaica. It's called androcracy. Androcracy. Punning off the prime minister's first name.
Androcracy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that one kind of stumped us. A 77-year-old man, what problem you could have with your 77-year-old uncle, such that the only resolution to it was to kill him, chop him up, as Marie says, lion thief walk together, because after you thief, you gotta lie to cover it up. But you've killed him, and then not enough that you've killed him, you now try to dispose of his body in a very chilling and premeditated way. Wow. Jamaica, all right, whatever it is we need to do to get this right, we have to. It's not many opportunities we have to go over it. All right, Pastor Percival. Let's wrap up before we get.
George Lamin, a Caribbean poet who has passed.
Yeah. It was reported on from yesterday, and many persons are, expressing what a great loss it represents for the Caribbean. It is a loss, but he has left behind a great body of work. Maybe there are some persons who don't even know the name George Lamming. Ricky Singh is another Caribbean man. He's writing about him today. So if you are curious about the commentators, the writers, the powerful voices of the early Caribbean, the emerging Caribbean society, George Lamming is certainly one of the persons. I'm trying to remember a specific work of his that I'm trying to remember what comes to mind, but suffice it to say, the thing that touches me the most is the knowledge that these persons are dying as they're transitioning, but we are not seeing the voices of equal strength rising to the fore, voices that are critical and that command attention. Instead, we are very much seeing a lot of kind of self-created, I want to say demagogue, because that's the word that come to my mind.
The book that I read it
in the Castle of My Skin.
It was when we did literature in high school.
Yes.
It was one of his books. I remember reading
Right.
that in The Castle of My Skin.
The Castle of My Skin.
Yeah.
Still a very relevant
book.
pronouncement.
Yeah.
Because when you as you exercise sovereignty in your black skin, what on earth does it
that
mean
yeah.
to be a sovereign human being encased in chocolate?
Yeah.
You would think that would make you most desirable. Instead, it seems to yeah.
In The Castle of My Skin, coming of age.
Yeah.
It's like
Marie is theorizing online here that the nephew may have grown impatient with the old man and take too long for dead. And she says greed, because a lot of people are so impatient to inherit the kingdom that they take it by force.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I wanted us to just kind of concentrate our thoughts on a few things before we are ready to speak with our listeners. You did not see the story, but the question of access to riverine resources, let's call it that, and beach, the foreshore, has been, to me, it has now taken up a kind of a permanent place on the nation's agenda, because it fits in with the concern we have over the administration of our environment and these natural resources. It's right there with water and the cockpit issues pertaining to the cockpit country. So it's natural resources generally, beach, riverine resources, and even the mining, extractive industries, where we see that communities are greatly affected by the work of the bauxite companies. Yet we are not seeing prompt resolution of those issues. And two things are happening. You have health-related environmental issues arising, where persons are falling ill because there is dust pollution or there's noise pollution, and there's disruption in the ecosystem, which cause disruption in the economies, those who are farmers, those who have businesses that don't do well in covered in dust. Those complaints are rising to the fore, and we're not seeing a straight line resolution of those issues. And in fact, it would even seem that we don't have a system to resolve those issues independent of whatever it is that the companies choose to do. Even in relation to utilities, we had one caller last week raise the fact that there are fluctuations in the power supply which cause damage to people's appliances and so on. And we are still stuck at that place where there's no compensation. So at every level, we're seeing inequities in how matters that concern welfare, well-being of consumers, of citizens in communities are not being given the level of attention or treatment that it deserves. So that's one. Then on the infrastructure side, we're seeing that commercial interests, as one listener put it, if the government were as sensitive to disturbing the citizens, consumers, as they are about disturbing business interests, we would have a functioning democracy. But we are continuing to see where commercial interests are constantly getting the edge over citizen concerns. And yes, because if there is a property, all right, so we know, for example, that there were days when the beach was owned by somebody. Peach Beach down in Discovery Bay, we hear that when the bauxite company was done with it, they gave it to Salvation Army, thinking, I guess, that Salvation Army being... Army, it's not Salvation Army?
Red Cross.
Red Cross. Oh, you know, sometimes I mix them up.
Yeah, me know. Correcting you.
Wow.
Yeah, Salvation. It was a Red Cross.
The Red Cross, right. And the Salvation Army uses the Red Cross too.
Yes, we do.
That might be why I think they're one and the same. My apologies to the Salvation Army, the Army of Salvation. So we know that there was a time in the history of this country when somebody could say, that is mine. And anything that an individual didn't put their name against, the crown said, it's crown land. In other words, as it is in Britain, ordinary commoners cannot own land. Even in the peerage, royal lineage, people don't own land. All land belongs to the crown, and the crown grants you permission to use it. And it can travel down your family line, but at any time the crown want, they can take it back. So that's the history of land holdings in a monarchical arrangement. Everything belong to the queen or the king. Not very different from Old Testament days when the prophet Samuel was told to explain to the children of Israel what it means to have a king. The first thing, he tell him that the king owned the land and the people.
He owns
you. Absolutely. And when he owns you, he owns your land. Do you remember that the people and the land go together?
True.
So if he owns you and he says you must bring him 10% of the corn that you grow, he basically is controlling the output of your land. So that is a consistent principle that applies to monarchical arrangements. Nobody owns it but the monarch. And they can determine what you do with it, when you do with it, and how, when they want it to be put to some other use, you are powerless. When we took independence, I don't know why I use those words, but when we launched our own flag, the replacement for that arrangement under the monarchy is what is called compulsory acquisition.
True.
In our constitution,
when they're building them can just come take it.
Absolutely. In our constitution, the government has the right, the power, the ability to command any landowner to give up the land that the individual has for the purpose of some public use. For example,
development, like what's happening in Sandy Park.
Is
it a similar case?
Well, we're gonna come to that because that's a different. We're gonna come to that. That's a different principle. When the highway was being built, for example, they design where the roads will run, and anybody whose land it cut through, you are told we require X portion of your land, we pay for it. The Constitution does have some very robust provisions that allow you to get proper value. And if they assess it and give it a value and you disagree, there is a system where you go back to the government, Commissioner of Lands, for a value to be ascertained so you can be paid out. But you cannot stop them from commandeering the use of your land for whatever purpose. What does that mean?
It means that. So mean if I'm living in that area and them want my house or they want to be brutal.
Yes.
Them can say we want your house.
Absolutely.
And I can't do anything about it.
Not a thing you can do about it except quarrel over the value.
So there's no, so like I have my house, I'm in a community. They say to me, it's not for no.
Perfect for a school.
They're
right where you are is perfect for a school.
So them just come and say, that's it.
They serve you a notice that an order has been made to compulsorily acquire your land. They offer you a value. If you disagree with the value, there's a process in the Constitution.
So that means that if you have it, that means you can have excesses and arbitrariness. If somebody's out to get you in government, they can just say invoke that and you're done with.
Yeah.
Wow, that's scary.
Yep. But on the good side, if the government so chooses, that 37 acres of land in Alligator Pond can be acquired from the private landowner for the use of the community.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Oh, so there's a good side. There's a good
can bite you. Absolutely. If you have a good government, that hears the cry of the people, that government would say, Mr. Private Owner who is selling those acres, that acreage, the government will acquire it for the community, put it in a trust, and determine how it ought to be regulated for the use of the community. And so the development on that land can be uniquely curated to meet the needs of the community. So they have their access to the waterfront or the beach or whatever, and if it should have some kind of, economic activity going there that I rest my case.
No, but that is so powerful, because it goes back to the government really interested in the people?
Yes. They would use those powers.
Because they use it for other things,
They use it for Bill Airport, for Give Man thing, for whatever.
So it's highlighting the heart.
Including when Jamaica producer have 4,000 acre land up there and some people on it. And for years they're trying to get titles and can't, or they're trying to negotiate. The government could step in and say, I will acquire it for the community and settle the community there. They have to pay value to Jamaica producers. But so what? They can spend the money doing that rather than paying for Kamina Johnson-Smith to get about the world trying to raise up votes and interest in her personal job. And I will always come back to that point, because we take decisions about the use of money that are peculiarly in the interest of small or narrow minority. And the big issues that are out there where we have the power to do things, we don't use it.
Can politicians tell the truth? Can they act on behalf of the people?
Of course they can.
Yeah, what we calling for that.
Of course they can.
Mm-hmm.
So we have those issues that we want to engage you on when you come on. Know that there are things which can be done even in the Constitution that is stretching our last nerve. Right now, today, Alligator Pond can be addressed in a way that helps the community if your government cares to step up for you. Marie says something about Robin Hood politics. She says, but that will never happen for poor Jamaicans. They don't practice Robin Hood politics. Take from the rich and give to the poor. Not so? Not just, Earl says, not just Jamaican alone. It happened in the USA and Canada. If government want your land or to widen a street, they can take your land. Of course, it is a necessary it's a necessary provision to have, because persons will either frustrate meaningful development or be extortionate in their demands. Meaning, the government need the land for an airport, and you decide that because they're going to put an airport on it, the land that is today worth $1 million, when you sell it to the government, you want to sell it to them for $100 million. So there is a system in the law everywhere so to allow governments to take land and use it for the good of the people when private negotiations would create a humbug.
Mm-hmm. As it come to the break,
Yes.
Earl said there's something that
Police deserves a fair wage, but there's a limit. Oh,
there's a
that's
limit.
coming out of
That's
Canada?
Out of Canada. And he's saying there are two of the top officers in PR constables, one earning 244,000 Canadian, the other 227. They earn most of their extra money by working overtime hours by simply waiting around to testify in court. Wow. So there's a case for the police to earn a fair wage and to earn overtime, just that it mustn't be abused. That's what I'm hearing us saying.
Obviously, the same for nurses and doctors. Remember, we have the same issue come up with nurses and doctors. Teachers, don't teachers get overtime? Not at all. Yeah. So it's the same. Every worker who goes beyond the 40-hour work week is entitled to something. If not, how are they going to be incentivized to go beyond, the bare bones of duty so that they can be truly effective? As we take our break, I want to leave you with one thing in mind. If you have heard the call to go out and start a political party and you want to answer that call, just know that the minimum thing for you to do is you need 500 electors, voters, who will support you, and you need $50,000 cash. Can be a banker's check or whatever these days, digital money. It can be from your Jamdex account, but that is what it requires. Those are the big ticket items. 500 people to support you and $50,000 to process your application. Amongst the 500 people supporting you, make sure you have a lawyer or two who can help you write your constitution, because the constitution of your party must conform to certain technical requirements, but they are not difficult requirements. If you're having a political party and you can't meet those requirements, then you don't deserve to have a political party. I don't know if the 500 voters is a stretch, but it should not be hard for you to find 500 people who say, yes, this person and what they're planning looks good for my country. I'm encouraging persons to consider what your skills are, what the call is upon your life, and take a decision to help your country move into a better condition. Let's take the 8 o'clock break. I'm surprised they gave me 2 additional minutes. Either somebody fell asleep or we were really saying the right thing. When we come back, we're going to open the lines. The numbers to call are 619-1508 and 279-8473. And please, our listeners in Tallspen, give me a call to let me know that you're okay. I know you're grieving and you're mourning and we feel for you, but I just want to know that you're okay.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Justine Green with the BBC News. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told his cabinet that the government could now draw a line under issues that his opponents wanted to talk about, a day after surviving a confidence vote by his party's members of parliament. Critics say his authority has been undermined after more than 40% of Conservative MPs voted to remove him from office. Geeta Gurumurthy is following developments from outside the Prime Minister's residence.
It's been very interesting to see actually that quite a few people have gone quiet, perhaps trying to work out the lie of the land, looking at who voted in which direction. But it is clear the Prime Minister is for now safe. He has won a victory, and his supporters have said that even if he won by 1 vote, he would remain. The newspaper headlines today are quite damning. Words like dead man walking, lame duck Prime Minister. So, of course, he's going to not have an easy time in the coming days and weeks. There are by-elections ahead.
A row has broken out between Ukraine and the global nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency. Ukraine's national nuclear operator has accused the head of the IAEA, Rafael Grossi, of lying about being invited by Kyiv to visit the Ukrainian nuclear plant at Zaporizhia, which has been seized by Russian forces. Here's our Europe editor, Danny Eberhard.
Ukraine's nuclear operator, Enerhoatom, did not mince its words. In a statement, it said it saw efforts by Rafael Grossi to visit the Zaporizhia plant as an attempt to legitimize Russia's occupation of the facility. It said Ukraine had not invited him to visit and had refused permission previously. Mr. Grossi, in an impassioned address on Monday, stressed a visit was vital, saying the Zaporizhia plant was disconnected from safety systems.
Reports from Germany say Deutsche Bank has relocated hundreds of employees from Russia to Berlin since the invasion of Ukraine in February. They're among the about 1,500 IT specialists the bank employs in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Deutsche Bank is not commenting on the relocation. Spain's National Court has called for the head of an Israeli firm that developed controversial software to testify as part of an investigation into spying. This follows recent revelations that a number of Spanish politicians had been under surveillance, including the Prime Minister. Guy Hedgecoe reports from Madrid.
A Spanish judge intends to travel to Israel to interview Shalif Julio, whose company, NSO, developed Pegasus spyware. Pegasus is used to hack phones and monitor their activity and has been at the centre of a political storm in Spain. The Spanish intelligence agency recently confirmed it had spied on Catalan independence leaders. Also, the Spanish government revealed that several cabinet members, including Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, had had their phones hacked with Pegasus.
You're listening to World News from the BBC. Prosecutors in Germany have launched an investigation into 3 employees of the state railway company in connection with last week's train derailment that killed 5 passengers. The prosecutor's office in Munich said the 3 are accused of negligent homicide. 4 women and a 14-year-old boy were killed when the train derailed near the resort of Garmisch-Partenkirchen on Friday. Fiji's Supreme Court has handed over a Russian superyacht to the US authorities, ending a 2-month legal battle over identity of the yacht's owner. US investigators say the $325 million Amadea is owned by a Russian billionaire, Suleiman Karimov, who has been targeted by US sanctions. The King and Queen of Belgium are arriving in its former colony, the Democratic Republic of Congo, in a few hours for a week-long visit. The trip, the King's first since ascending to the throne in 2013, is sensitive and symbolic, as Emery Makameno reports from Kinshasa.
King Philip is the first reigning monarch to express regrets for what he calls the wounds of the past following 75 years of colonization. Millions of Congolese suffered acts of cruelty, particularly during the reign of King Leopold II, who owned the Congo Free State as his personal property. The DRC's Foreign Minister Christophe Lutundola says it is a visit of legacy and reconciliation. The king will hand over the first of over 80,000 artifacts looted during the colonial period.
A record 11.9 million teenagers in China are taking this year's notoriously difficult three-day college entrance exam. This year's test takers are the first to have experienced COVID disruptions during all 3 years of China's high school curriculum. Ongoing COVID restrictions in some areas are forcing some students to take exams in individual hotel or hospital rooms. BBC News.
We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection, and we're excited to open the lines and begin to chat with you. So please be sure to call us 619-1508-279-8473. Uppermost on your host's mind this morning, that will be my mind. Pastor will tell you what's uppermost on his, is the concern that we've got to shift from this borrowed democracy into something that really works for us, that respects the ideals and the ambitions of our people, and our policy, our politics can be infused with that genuine care and concern for the well-being of the people. In fact, political power ought to be the reward that we give to those who display the characteristics that we're looking for in our leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning to Pastor Percy and Sister Minett.
How are you, my dear?
I'm fine, please.
Okay, what's on your mind today?
I'm talking about the people from Alligator Pond.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know much about it, but Is more than 2 million people living in Alligator Pond.
2 million or 2,000?
More than
Or
200,000
200,000.
people living in Alligator Pond. And the people them occupy the beach.
Yes.
And them build their house.
Yes.
And they live on the land down here.
Yes. Are you from that parish? Are you from that area?
I am from the south here.
Yes. What
I would say could happen. The government could step in and give them the place that them build the house and give them a paper, make them pay for it.
Well, I agree with you that the government should step in. I think since the land is up for sale, it means that the government could use its powers and acquire the land and allow the persons who want to occupy the land and who are already there to have some secure and permanent relationship with the land. But let me ask you, do you think that the area could benefit from some greater development that can give more jobs, bring more visitors into the community, and bring some more cash and wealth in Alligator Pond? You think some changes could be needed?
Yes, true. Because plenty of people live down here. Yes. Remember me, I tell you, no one or no two people live down there, plenty.
So no doubt it will eventually attract the attention of an MP or some other political person.
Yes. And the place want clean up too. And the tree them want stop down and the place want look after.
Yes.
True.
All right. Thank you so much for calling and giving some support to the people in Alligator Pond. I'm sure others are going to be encouraged now to voice, their opinion and press for something to be done that will benefit the people there. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, good morning, family.
Hey,
Wayne. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I hope you feel the love.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. The purity there's a lot of love,
Yeah.
Eternal love. I think it was Thursday I was reading something from St. John about Christ and that the world is misunderstanding God's mercy and stuff like that.
We were talking about the Spirit when it came, what it to do, yeah.
So, me not hear, come again.
No, we were, she asked a question, when the Holy Spirit come, what would be his work in terms of understanding of what sin is really means and so on. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, what sin and
sin, righteousness and judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christ said we are wrong. He said the world has a wrong view of it.
Wrong.
And the Holy Spirit will come and show us the right way. Through the Holy Spirit, he will correct that.
You say, love the Bible, but you say, like how you utter about people saying prophetic thing and it happened same time. But remember, even those time with Elijah and them one day, the rest of the nation them would really stray from another them one thing.
Yes.
So even this time you will see people who have the Spirit do the same thing, say things and it happen the same time. Sometimes them say things thousands of years before it happened.
Right, yeah.
But the majority of the people them just seem so, it's Minett.
Yes.
And we can say to the people them, in the end, when we read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, it shows you obedience to the Most High, And that the Most High created heaven and earth and all powers in His hand, I think naturally you should have want fear and respect such a force and energy and person.
Yep.
Such naturally common sense would make you want to do that. And if you look upon all the mighty miracles that the scripture teaches us that the Most High have manifest in front of our eyes for sure, His power over creation, to me is most important self or being is really his justice and righteousness. Because if he have such power, suppose he was supposed the Creator wasn't just and righteous. Imagine all the evil we experienced would have been nothing to what he
Yes,
could do.
because he would overwhelm us.
Yeah, so people, the 10 Commandments, meditate upon it. These are the 10 most basic and highest principles of life that can cause us to come out of the misery we are living in.
Well, don't forget, that when we struggled with 10, he reduced it to 2. 10 is too much.
Well, he never reduced it, kind of add nor subtract himself. In a nutshell, these commandments
summarize.
Yes.
He's really teaching us to love the Lord with all the heart, the mind, and the soul, and love the brother as we love itself.
Yeah, he say if you focus on those two, you will have captured it sees the same principle, that if you attack the 20%, the 80% of the little problems will go away.
Yeah, because the 20% is the foundation.
Right. So that's what I mean when I say he reduced it to 2. Because in those 2, the other 8 are embodied.
Yeah.
How are things? So you I mean, we hear of the horrors in Tospen, and we immediately thought of you. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. We chat through same way, cause you see in the midst of fire, the Lord protect I and I. When 10,000 fall at the ground, the Lord still keep I and I strong. We don't live in fear. We just try to make sure we try to live clean, Stay away from adultery, because adultery is one terrible destruction life, with the Lord hates, and all the things are go wrong, Miss Minett. And when things are go wrong reaction are go happen.
Yeah, we do know that.
We have to know what go wrong and
fix it.
What is right.
And get on the right
track. Bring focus. Sorry for not getting nobody.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, sir. Well, I'm glad to know you're safe. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man. So, bless up, family.
Bless up.
10 Commandments important. And as me you're talking about something, His Majesty out of speech I talk on Jerry program yesterday too. I see me talk on a program too. When him talk, a person question him about republic or democracy and communism. And him said to them, it's not really the name or it's whether the leaders love their people. They love their people, they got to do things that make sense so that they can be happy,
And survive and strive. Yeah, man.
We live and enjoy creation. It's all about us, Creation is about us.
True.
We are the most, when I say, the most reason for creation. Because man give everything value, So really and truly, it's like, creation is for man.
That's true.
So we have to just love one another, people, and respect one another, and that's be good. That's how the joy will come. Anyway, bless up. They are listening.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. All right. It's
just an update. There's an article in today's paper which says that they are not boycotting the summit of the Americans. Only Gonzalez who says it's not going, but 7 out of the 15 have said that they are going.
The CARICOM has changed its position.
No, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
We're talking to the Secretary General. Because, the guy from Belize is chairman of CARICOM now. Yeah.
Okay, so there was CARICOM's original position was to boycott, and America was lobbying. Does it refer to a change of position, or it just addresses it as if it were so all along?
He said there's a call for a boycott, but he says 7 are going. Only Ralph Gonzalez has signaled he's not going.
Sorry, there's a call on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, good morning, Miss Minett. Good morning, Mr. Percy.
Good morning, my dear. How are you today?
Well, I'm good, giving God thanks. Yeah, I just listened to that gentleman a while ago and talking about the commandments.
Yes.
For us, I don't talk about other nation. I talk about our race, black people.
Yes.
If we were taught to uphold the keeping of the 10 commandments, we would not in the predicament that we are in.
That
and
is
people
true.
don't understand it. It's so simple. It's all because we break the laws of God why we are in the dilemma that we are in. I don't busy with no other nation, but you see, our black nation, until we go back to the keeping of the 10 commandments, our nation will never be healed. Have a good day.
All right.
Think about this today.
All right.
Nice and tight. Well, we keep saying that. The truth is recognizing that you have strayed from it and finding your way back to
the
it
path,
is always the devil is in the details. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. A pleasant and blessed morning to you folks.
Oh, thank you.
I was right on the brink yesterday when you said the last call. I said, okay, after Marie spoke.
Yes.
Well, that's all right.
I welcome you as, what is this now, the fourth call?
Well, can I say this morning, I have a couple of issues, but I'm going to touch the main one, public service. Public service. Now, I want people to go on the OUR website and look. Whenever you have a power outage after beyond 4 hours, you are entitled to compensation. Listen again. If you have a blackout after 4 hours, you are entitled to compensation. We need to start get up and do what we do, man. Them sit down too long. Can I tell you that I hear on another station that a lady lost 350 pound of chicken over the weekend?
Oh, because there was a loss of electricity.
So public. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I love it that you have gone to look at what the protocols or the terms and conditions are, but there is a piece in it that says if it is an unscheduled, there's something about whether it is a scheduled downtime or unscheduled, the duration of it. So persons need to be sensitive, because I see JPS do some things like it's like just right on the wire.
Miss Minett.
Yes.
Sometimes you just see the light going. And you call them and them tell them soon come. And I know them not come.
Yeah.
Them have a song for a long time I call and you just feel to come. Yeah. So these are the things that is happening to us. Public service, they are demanding more money. I'm telling me and you pay for the money where I take the light.
Yep.
Well, look at that. Did you know that a lot of people didn't know that was in a contract? That the money where I take the light, public service is not responsible for all the people that stealing light. We, the peers, are paying for them.
And to make it clear, they have a rate of return which they must strive to earn, and it is paid by, that return is generated by the income from paying customers. So if they are losing through illegal abstraction, that just goes to the cost of doing business and becomes part of the money they are expending in order to get their rate of return. So whether you like it or not, you are paying for those who are taking. Yeah.
Yesterday I heard you gently. You was on a high point yesterday. the clerksman shake your hand and you felt good. Yes.
Did I say I felt good?
I hear even person look at you and say, you're getting back your money. And he said, boy, it spoke to me. And, you have a good feeling. But I'm going to tell you something. Miss Minett, them start monitor that program, Miss Minett, them start monitor that program,
We know from long time.
And Pastor Percival, them see what happen. And you see when them see danger in the way, them, you know them, if you can't beat them, you friend them.
Okay.
You understand where I come from, Pastor Percy?
I'm just hoping that my report on the handshake keeps the program alive.
Don't get swelled. Don't get swelled.
Oh, my friend.
Don't get swelled.
I wish you knew me better.
No. I don't often, Miss Minett, over the time.
Yes.
We know people. I'm not saying I get swelled.
Okay.
Don't. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, dear.
I don't know what strategy I'm going to come with now. I'm come with the clerks, I'm come with the bro something. So I don't know where I'm going to come with now. But let me tell you something, Pastor Percy. This is not yesterday or today. I'm there a long time. Michael man said, okay, I know so much strong we're wrong. And him
yes,
load.
Yes. Yeah.
You remember that part?
Yeah, man. Yes, I remember that. 150,000 strong.
All right.
Number grew.
Sam Sharp Square.
Them have me hear politicians say that all the time. Sure, let them go and run up them mouth, man. Keep them hungry, man, and power restricting. When you see when the election come, you just roll out a month before, buy some Kentucky and thing and give them, and you're gone again. That is what they think about the people.
Yeah, but I think Jamaican is becoming wiser.
Pastor Percy, well, me I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
The last election we go on, plus Portland election teach me a lot.
Yes.
And me see money run. When the man who, the right man, I see money run, and you know, me just call one name. That's why I get caught up in the trap. Royal Reed. Me not say nothing more.
Okay.
Money are run. And when I say money are run, they're using this little brother named Fly Green now. The same man who disrespect Jamaican. And a no movement there. Come and now forget that. Show labor rights and a no movements there. People easily forget. Less I forget. But I tell you, them not respect nobody. Them put on them coat, them put on them good cologne and them expensive cologne and them sit them in a air condition. And we put them there, we make them there. And yet still, when the day come, I wonder if you know, chicken gone now, you know. Chicken, and $900 for a pound of saltfish. $900 for a pound of saltfish.
Wow, that's...
Saltfish come from Canada. I mean, I know saltfish comes to be Jamaican national dish. It not come from here. Okay. Columbus, them carry Aki come here. 1494, Christopher Columbus. When them come here with the Pinta, the 9 and the Santa Maria. When them go King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. But I want to go in the history car. There's so much. We want to teach the young people them what go on, you know. Yeah. And them not fool, you know, but me I tell you, you see money I want to catch them. And you him say him love to deal with you. Let me tell you something. The lady who's running up and down, well, I hope for them benefits she win, because I hear the radio station say she's doing it for the Commonwealth and Jamaica. Really? And is a representative of Jamaica and all of these things. But let me tell you, them are doing it for them own benefit.
We know that.
Never part two to this, you know.
Yeah, but part two, yeah.
It's a personal...
It's a personal.
It's a personal. I have a part two to this, but me now go let it go yet.
All right.
Because when me let it go, people are going to see, say them have them own agenda.
They always do, now. They always do.
One time gone, Pastor Percy, you could have get half scholarship. You didn't know that?
Yes, man.
You pass common entrance and you get half. If your people them can afford to pay for half scholarship.
Let me share a personal thing.
Yes, sir.
My daughter went to one of the prominent high schools, and upon her graduation, her grandmother, which is my mother, says, you know, I got a part scholarship to this school, and this is from in the 1940s, and I couldn't take it up because my parents could not afford the part scholarship. So I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And I only knew that at my mother's and my daughter's graduation all of these years.
Pastor Percy finished in ending now. Priory, you remember that school, Priory?
Yes, man. Mm-hmm.
Oh, when I used to go, on North Street, me there, you know. I go St. Jude's, then I go Tarrant, and then I go North Street. And when we used to go up because we used to go up the house, the place then called Jamaica House. Cause there was a little piece of land up there where we could have got do a little playing
exercise.
You're right.
And when we're passing Priory, man, when you see those kids, man, braces, pan teeth, and you see them in them short pants, grey pants, and you say,
right,
wow.
Yeah, man.
You have to know your khaki clothes.
And Priory's no more.
Yeah, you remember those things?
Yeah, man, remember.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. Well, I don't forget. My memories are still trapped. And in particular, I don't forget injustice.
I say, if there was 10 Michael Manley, this place would be a better place. I'm going to tell you about some man. You see the one with Mr. Siago, and me can't hold me to this. Him say, man, we enough for trust. You see the one when say name's Carl Samuda. Him say the one when the one who's the Minister of Security. What's name again?
Chang?
I can't remember the name now.
Is Mr. Chang? Horace Chang?
Chang?
He's
Yes,
the
Horace
current.
Chang.
One
Yeah.
young man to go be.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He's the
Sure them
current.
say enough for trust.
He's the current Minister of National Security.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have a good man.
You too, my brother. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So
We're
don't
right
start
at
on
the
the
break.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
so let's take our break and we'll be right back.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5.
Hagley Park Road. Vijay Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
That's all right.
Welcome back to The Morning Connection and good morning to the caller. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, welcome to The Morning Connection.
Good morning. Just want to call because I was listening to the gentleman a while ago.
Yes.
A point about half scholarship and things like that.
Yes.
It seems as if he's saying that there's people who take it up and something.
Yeah, my mother got one, but she couldn't take it up at the point because in order to access high school, they would get a full or a part. So they'd give you a part, but you have to pay the other part in order to be admitted.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure of what I heard. Of what I heard.
Yeah.
No. Me, I went to States.
Yes.
And when I went to school at Santa Cruz, one of the reasons why the first year or so I did not learn very well is that I had a culture shock. It's the first time I ever wear shoes and socks for school.
Yes.
I went to school barefooted.
For primary.
Primary school, I'm talking of all ages. Rather,
Yeah, all age, yeah.
And I spoke about it on one program before. They were talking about uniform.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to school barefooted at that time, 98% of the students went to school barefooted. At my school, that is.
Yes.
And it was, I guess, was the norm and so on. Many older people know that you have one pair of shoes on at church wear that go.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to States, there are several things that I couldn't understand. The first time I ever drove in a car is when I was going up to the school. I've never driven a car before.
And you're saying those things didn't motivate you to excel. It confused you and you didn't learn well for that first year.
Yeah, first year. But the point I want to make, emphasize is the half scholarship. Now, when I took the exam, I forgot about the exam. I got the chart until my parents called one day on Sunday morning. And my granny just don't beat me. I'm under the cow and milk the cow. I'm here call my granny and say, I like my name. I don't want to give my name.
Yes.
Percy.
Yes.
Miss Nita. Where Percy there? He's saying that I'm under a ball because he mashed up my granny rat. You're good like gold. You pass the exam. I said, I don't know where my talk was because I had forgotten about it.
You had forgotten doing it. Oh, this is precious.
I had forgotten about the exam. And so by this time now, all the tears there up. And then, me hear. The thing used to come out in the newspaper.
Yes.
In those days. And worst of all, apparently it came out in the newspaper on a Saturday. Now, for the
next 10 but miles around. Nobody no buy newspaper in them area.
Mm-hmm.
I used to buy newspapers about 10 miles away. I don't know my parents buy newspaper. And you know what, I got a half scholarship.
Yes.
No, I never know about half scholarship, quarter scholarship, nothing.
Her full scholarship.
Hello?
We're hearing you, man.
So when it come out a big thing, it was so big that when I was going up to Santa Cruz from my bush area there, the counselor for the area come with me. It's a big thing. One somebody pass one in the school now. The school is small in any case. One somebody pass a year. And so them are 3 years also. So I was probably one student and the first. So the parish counselor, and he did know, because from 1960 about.
Wow.
And the principal and the vice principal came with us in the car. First I drive in a car, you know. Go up to Santa Cruz, go look place the board and to verify the thing. That time, me don't know anything about half scholarship or what you're talking about. Okay, the first day of school now, when you're filling out the forms, you have one paper you fill out with all type of things, registration and things.
Yes.
So they say, those who pass full scholarship, me not know what to write on the paper. And those who have whatever. Yeah, what the hell did the teacher talk about? Till me realize, I have scholarship, me pass.
Mm-hmm.
No, poor me, my father. I can't make contact with my parents at that time because no phone also not around now. And my granny can't read.
Mm-hmm.
And she did something at Bush Place at Westmoreland. I can't remember how the thing was paid. But
But it was paid.
Yeah, I mean, for that, I'm talking about that particular time, you know.
Yes.
The year 1965. I can't remember how it was paid. But it was paid. Now, what happened is that at that time, I was 13. The exam at that time, no people, I discussed with some teacher, and I don't understand. I was able to take over the exam. Understand?
Yes.
Because you could take it up until you are 15.
Right. Oh.
Hello?
We're hearing you.
Really hearing you.
And did you get a full scholarship?
Yes, that's what I'm explaining to you. The exam that I took, and those days, I just help I say to me from Spanish, and I realized that the lady was right. She was saying to me, say name all later, something exam, because there were a number of exams in those years. First Jamaica local,
that's the one. First Jamaica local.
Common entrance. I took the common entrance and failed it. And then I took this, what is called it, technical entrance.
That's a reach a state, yeah.
Yeah, it called it technical entrance. Some people call it overage. I didn't even realize at that time that it was taken only at schools that have all age.
Yeah.
And I passed it. So when I passed it in Westmoreland, Darliston, I took the thing. I have to, from where I live, about 10 miles, I have to travel to Darliston to take the exam. And no vehicle run go there from this way. Anyhow, before another time I tell you about, I want to tell you, in the first form where I was, there was a young boy from Westmoreland sitting in the class beside me named Edmund Bartlett. And we went together in first form, second form, third form, fourth grade. But guess what happened? You graduate in fourth form in those days, we didn't have that in fifth form we never have at the school.
Okay.
We graduated at fourth form, and I'm going to tell you some more another time, but you wouldn't believe who our agricultural science teacher was. One man named J.C. Hutchison, who had just graduated from Cornell University and was teaching agriculture at the school.
Okay, so...
And there was another friend of mine, so I heard, because I'm visually impaired now, that he's a counselor now in St. Elizabeth. And we're in the same class. His name is Donald Simpson. Mm-hmm. And we're in the same... I have to contact him. Mm-hmm. But in the same class. Another thing I found, I have to check it out, is that there was an Indian man from Westmoreland here named Horace Williams, who became mayor of Mandeville for many years. And this man is a strong PNP. And this man, sister, married to Mr. Edmund Bartlett.
Okay.
All right, so...
I'm going to tell you what, but pull it off now to say, this technical entrance over the years have evolved and changed into 9. I don't know what it is now. That's right. And secondly, people like us in Savlamar or Westmoreland or Hanover or St. James and St. Elizabeth, when you take the technical entrance and pass it, you cannot go to the traditional high school with it. You understand that?
Oh, you have to go to a technical school.
That time, yes.
Yeah.
Because when you pass it, you must go to a technical school.
Yeah.
And I'm going to close now, and I'll tell you more.
I appreciate your sharing with us, sir.
At that time, there were only 6 technical schools in Jamaica. I'm going to tell you something before I tell you them. When I was teaching at St. George's College, the boys asked me, sir, which school you go? Which high school you go? I'm telling them state. They start laugh. I didn't never heard of state before. So they said, sir, you mean stat? Because there was stats in Kings. They said, no, state. And many of them in class never hear about
Never
state.
knew.
But in those days, there were only 6 technical schools. Selby Technical High School.
Kingston Technical.
Veer Technical. Teachfield in Homewood.
Yeah.
Kingston Technical and Stat.
Yeah.
Only 6.
Yeah.
And in closing, those were real technical schools because they taught technical subjects.
Yeah.
You understand? Nowadays, you have some technical schools and so on, but things like surveying, land surveying, they teach at Kingston. Kingston Technical had one of the best electronic lab in the whole Caribbean. It burned down. I forgot which year it burned down.
All right, I'm going to run and leave you now because we have another caller holding.
All right, yeah.
And I thank you for that walk down memory lane. It's certainly... Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Got you too.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for holding.
Greetings, enough love and honor to the family.
Thank you, sir. We wish you the same.
Here a little and there a little. So I'm just continuing on a particular indignation. And I want to... Hello?
We're listening.
And I want to present it in this way. Haile Selassie I came to the throne of Ethiopia on 2nd of November 1930. King of kings, Lord of lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. At that time, Ethiopia was the very poorest member of the League of Nations. Ethiopia was beset with tribal divisions and a whole set of crises and circumstances allied to those tribal divisions. Ethiopia was under threat of aggression from some neighboring countries and some from far away.
Mussolini.
Italy.
But His Imperial Majesty found time, even in all the midst of those crises, the Christ in kingly character, he found time to write his constitution, his new constitution for Ethiopia, out of those circumstances. The same Emperor Haile Selassie I came to us as a nation, visited us April 21, 1966, a nation, the majority of whom really did not know themselves, did not have an anchor of identity to hold on to, having lost that and so many other things out of the whole slavery and colonial experience. But that King of Kings came to us and told us that the Ethiopians and the Jamaicans are blood brothers. So from that moment forward, we should have known more about our identity as a nation. Anyway, I'm saying that presenting this new constitution for Ethiopia in 1931 Now our beloved Bob Marley, the first of the last 7 trumpets of Rastafari in this time. The first trumpet said, "Give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no devil." Now then, further in my indignation with another question, why then, in the talk of Constitution and family, beloved, you have been discussing such beautiful things recently, the fruits of the Spirit and things like that. The question is, why has then there not been a purposed attempt by those who profess, those who represent the face and voice of Rastafari, especially in the media here in Jamaica? Why then has there not been a purposed attempt to seek to draw from that Constitution of His Imperial Majesty that He presented for Ethiopia in 1931? Why then are these people? I think my question is understood, you know.
Yes, and I want to, so that it doesn't become a monologue, because you have been expressing your indignation. But remember, this is a call-in segment of our show when we need to speak to each other.
I know, beloved.
Yes, so leave a space for us so Percy and I can advance the argument.
Blessings, but the question is left just like that.
I see.
All right, then.
And again, let me just close by saying, give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no devil philosophy. Blessed love.
Blessed love.
Family.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, morning to you both. This morning I want to share 2 little things quick with you.
Sure.
I want to show you a trick that the politicians here use every 4 years. Every 4 years cycle. Both of them use PNP and the people.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. But before I go there, that gentleman that just speak a while ago, when I used to go to high school, I did history. Based on what we did and what I studied, we the black people here in the West, we came from West Africa, places like Ghana, Mali, Igbo, Nigeria. We are not from way over the East Africa, which is near to like Saudi Arabia in place, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, well, that's it.
Oh, so are you saying then that what he speaks about Ethiopia is not relevant to our consideration?
Well,
so you say we are blood brothers?
We are all African, but philosophy is more, when you look at philosophy, is more closer to the Arab nation in terms of his lineage, his blood.
I understand that. I'm asking if you're saying the teachings of His Majesty are not relevant for consideration by those who came from West Africa.
Yeah, man. Philosophy has great things about it that we can practice today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. That's how we're checking, right?
Yes.
So you're just showing off your knowledge.
Yes.
All right, sir. That's okay.
Yes. And Your Holiness, in a few days back in the news, I don't know if you, Miss Minett or Pastor Percy, if you saw the news item, when Andrew Holness came out, he was saying that the NIDS, the digital ID, all those people in Jamaica who are on path.
Mm-hmm.
They will not be, in the near future, they will not be able to access path if they don't accept the needs. He was threatening the people, but yet still he said that needs is not mandatory.
That is voluntary.
If we are intelligent enough,
mm-hmm.
if we are intelligent enough to show how this brother is deadly, if we are intelligent enough, he's saying on one hand it is not mandatory, but he's threatening the part recipients that if you don't get in it, you won't be able to access part. What is your take on that?
I didn't hear the specific statement, but I know as a matter of law that there is no administration of government resource that can be linked to a voluntary process. Yeah. So if he said that, he's absolutely wrong in law. And one of the things that we have, and morally wrong too, because it's been said, the court pronounced it earlier, that the ID cannot be tied to government resources and the distribution of government resources. So you pretty much cannot withhold resources from people because they have not gone into a particular stream that you have lined up. I know it is a strong point of NIDS that it will allow better identification, a more secure way of identification for those who are to receive benefits. Now, I only say that's what is said. I don't know if it is true because it's only what's been said. Tell us about the trick that you want Jamaicans to be mindful of, please.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you about the trick, but let me educate Jamaica what it is. It is just, the world is going cashless.
Paperless.
The central bank digital currency. The CBDC cannot work. The country cannot go cashless without the digital ID. So they are forcing the digital ID. When it is implemented, the needs, they're going to go fully cashless. That's all it is. That's what it's made for. That's what it is. Okay. So that they can move away from paper money to digital currency. So when you use the app on your phone to buy something, they can identify you with that biometric ID. That's all it is. That's all it is.
But it's not biometric, you know.
They're not going to come out and tell you publicly that we're going cashless, so we need the digital ID. My TRN work, my driver's license work, my national ID work, my passport work.
All right, so what's the trick?
Yeah, the trick now.
Yes.
All right. From a young age, I have seen the PNP and the JLP fool the people every
4 years?
4 year cycle. They come up with the same trick and they know that the people, most of the people, them dumb. They buy green shirt and orange shirt. They buy green cloth and orange cloth, tie up on the light post them. Instead of giving the people the money, they spend millions buying shirt and cloth. And the PNP have a song that sings, from I was a little boy till now, the same song playing. PNP song is, I'm on Banya. I'm on Alicia. They spend millions, give tone cry to go around and sing song. And the JLP song is, me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Hold on for your victory, Christian. Hold on for your victory, Labour. You know? And they buy your rum, they buy your white chicken, they buy your cement. When you see the MP, they walk one bossy, in talk fluid language. You know, you buy 2 quarter rum in pass the bar. And then the people say, yeah man, me rate him, man, you go vote him. That's the same trick for the last 60 years, you know? And it's full time now, we get rid of them. Because
what makes it a trick?
All right.
Because some persons might say that is good socializing and marketing. What makes it a trick?
All right. In my country where I live, I look, when the silly season come around, every day my ears not silent for an hour. Me hear a town crier grow in the area. PNP vehicle, JLP vehicle, a place song. All right. After the election is over, I have never seen a town crier come around and say, people of this constituency, come out at a meeting at such and such school. We want you to come and tell the MP
what it is you need.
How we can help you. How we can assist you to have a better life. What are your needs? What are some of the things you need? I've never seen that.
All right. So the trick is not so much that they engage in these catchy and socially engaging strategies to bring attention, get the attention of the voter. It is the absence of a follow through. I want you to.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
because
I agree. Yes.
Okay. Because it doesn't mean that you don't engage socially and come together. Those are good ways to bring people together. The first thing is you have to build relationship. The trick that, as you see it, is like they warm you up and then they get the vote and they're gone. So it's
that's the trick.
Yeah, that's the trick.
They hide. After they win, you don't see them again till the next 4-year cycle, and they do nothing for the constituency. Maybe the roads are right, you see, maybe them patch 2 patrol now and again, but they do nothing for the constituency. Most of the constituency in Jamaica. When we look on West Kingston, when we look on Central Kingston, when we drive to Maxfield, Posha MPC 40 here, JLP or West Kingston, say how much here, and the place is deteriorated, man.
So we're being fooled by the show of love during the campaign season, and after that nothing, and it happens on a cycle, and you have caught on to it. Thank you, my brother. I need to take another call, but I do appreciate your input, and I look forward to
those close to you.
Yes, I look forward to your calling again.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Morning Connection.
Yes, good morning, Bess team.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, pastor, producer, engineer, everybody. Bess, big up, Bess.
All right. The love is received.
Yeah. That's 3 quick points that we know other people are waiting.
Yes.
So, number one, the same thing we'll come back to, I want to impress on the people. Because competitive politics vis-a-vis national development. Now, me see, me a big man from long time. And me not see how the competition are going to deal to development. In a family, if mama and father now work together, the youth them not going to develop. So now, we need to come up with a different program. As I said before, the Buster Man project failed, so they need to come up with something.
I want to ask you this, my brother.
Yeah.
How do you see, how could JLP, PNP, whatever, government, opposition, how do you see them working together to give priority to development over the competition for votes? I ask you this because even in this morning's paper, I see where Dr. Peter Phillips is saying the PNP and the JLP need to work cooperatively now. It is time to put aside, that campaign. He's saying the same thing as you. But as a citizen, what would you expect to see? They might know how they could do it in terms of their systems. But what, as a citizen, you would expect to see coming out of, that kind of attempt, working together instead of competing?
But me see it no matter.
Yes.
This country blessed with whole heap of big mind. And I like say, I want like a PR place. Jamaica have universities, we have people who well established, have knowledge and so on, we have the religious people and so on. So maybe them can squeeze in something which is peculiar to national development. So when PNP and JLP come in, them can't change the program.
True. They're talking about consensus.
Yeah, so the people them know say 3 years from now, that go in place. 5 years from now, that go in place. If there's something of foolishness are going on and people don't know, but then when the party change now, so people start worrying because them say something start. And them say, go ahead and change now, that might stop. So it brings confusion.
Can you hold a second for us, brother? And then we're going to the break to come back. Don't go away.
All right.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Hey, hey, hey! Bess100 FM and the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill presents an auction and telethon on June 23rd, 2022. You don't want to miss the sweet deals on designer vintage items, appliances, art pieces, and more. Go to our Instagram page at SOSVillage_auction and bid on your favorite items. That's SOSVillage_auction. Place as many bids as you can until June 23rd, the day of the event. Call us on the day to make pledges and other donations. Entertainment by the Morning Connection team. All proceeds will go to the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Best
Welcome back. Go ahead with the next 2 points, please.
Yeah, so as we have to know, we know the Constitution is a big thing, and the changes is a big thing. So if them could have pushed in something in it, squeeze in something, we say, national development priority, and then now set it up so that when the bigger head, them organize the thing and set the program, them can come in with them party business and do what they want to do. Next thing, the needs. Now, as me tell you the other day, I make a mistake and I'm going to one office and the things I need, but I don't need. Electoral thing.
Electoral office, yeah.
Yeah, but them tell me I need. So it's like the whole thing confused. Anyhow, the process, as I was explaining the last time, the process was very involved. Fingerprint, house visit, and so on. Now, when I look at the needs, them have a thing where them say step 1, 2, 3. I don't see anything about fingerprint. I don't see anything about house visit. And it looks like it's a bam, bam, bam. Quick thing. This electoral thing, them tell me to come back December. So me don't know how this needs thing, which going to be so strong. If them going to just take passport and driver's license and TRN, then what is it? So I remove JP. It looks confusing to me. So the government needs to come out and say exactly what. Because somebody tell me on the bus the other day, so them start get out on a Tivoli already. So me I wonder if it's a politics thing. Because it's a 61. And it's ugly. I hear it up now. I step up in the yellow bus, you know, and draw up my driver's license by mistake and put on the machine to get the ticket, and the driver will laugh after me and I say, hell, that way I do. And I say, yeah, it is mistake. So I say, me take out now the bus card and get the ticket and a pass. Mommy said to me, let me see the ID. So I tell her I know a driver's license, a mistake we make. She said, I want to see the next one again, tight ugly.
Oh.
So we're going to wait for the government to hear what they must say. But
yes.
Public education, yeah.
I want to educate the people.
Yeah.
At 30-something years, I East Africa. Yes. And the last 15 years, a mobile money around the thing. Now, for the mobile money different from ours. Because for the mobile money is from the phone company. So the phone company give the government the money, and then the government telephone company issue the e-money. So I want to prepare the people up here that those technology is deeply embedded. You can't fight against that because that's going to happen. You see, to print the paper money is an expensive thing. So only if a country now in East Africa are backward from the printing of the money and I give the people access to e-money. And may I tell you the fact too, it makes your life very, very convenient. Because see all my little youth in a boarding school now, and she wants her money. We just send the money to the talk shop manager.
Right. Yes.
So there are certain benefits. We have to pay taxes and all them things. They have an application where they just go in and do your thing. And you depend the bus and go somewhere. And you know, no problem to go line up in the government office or anything.
There you go.
So the people they must consider it. And may I tell you, enough years in the thing over there, because banking and finance, me do, and may I tell you, when you buy the SIM card, the wallet in the SIM card already.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you have to use it or you don't have to use it, is your problem.
It's there, right.
But me don't know nobody who gets SIM card and not activate the mobile money, because you put everything there and then you can buy your phone credit. You can do, may I tell you, all you got a market.
Yes.
Me don't pay my brethren them way. Me just give the money for them phone.
Right.
So at the end of the day, now, him just push it for them phone by him bank account.
Well, you are an excellent candidate to explain and to comfort persons.
Are the crooks me come to know, Mama? Are the crooks me come to know?
Come to the crooks.
You see the poor people, them?
Yes.
Them no can't go a bank or get no loan. So what the bank manager tell them is, when you make the sale at the end of the day, you push the money to the bank. In the morning, you pull it back out.
Mm-hmm.
Pull out what you need.
Create
so
credit.
When you go to the bank, and you tell the bank manager you want a loan, him just draw down the file. And him see your business day to day, and him can talk to you.
Right.
So there are certain benefits that the public must be aware of. Maybe the government is not selling it properly, but me tell you, for the last 15 years, it changed the whole of East Africa. Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia. All of them changed.
Well, you
but
know,
the economists do the research and you will see e-money at 5% of GDP.
I take it is family that drew you back to Jamaica.
When you don't know it go. Online business.
But you bring home some knowledge and a certain confidence about basic things that I'm sure will be a benefit to your community as long as you share it. And that we need that very much. A lot of persons are being put off about, the cashless economy and the digital world. To me, the greatest inhibitor to it in Jamaica, there are two things that will inhibit us. One, persons need good connectivity all through the island so they can participate. And two, persons need to be comfortable with the technology, be literate in their use of it so they can enjoy it and participate with ease. Those are the two things that Jamaica needs right now.
And we need to
be
break
able to
the trust
participate.
Factor. Yeah.
But through their experience, the trust will develop.
Yeah, but they don't trust government.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
All right, my brother.
Nobody don't trust government.
That's what I'm saying.
So the government make a wrong move that way. So them should have just said to the mobile operator then, you carry it, but give me the money.
Yeah.
So when them give them all $10 million and say all that, and then now the government give the phone company $10 million in e-money.
Right. All right, my brother. Thank you for sharing that.
And the last point now, I want to touch on that brethren now who always talking about His Majesty's. The teachings of His Majesty.
Yes.
No, we are foundation Rasta. We are studying the thing and we are picked me. And we can only encourage those brethren to continue to talk, to tell the people. Give us the teachings of His Majesty, because them the teaching that it is a partial. It cuts across color, creed, money, everything.
And it has its foundations in the teachings of Christ.
But sister, that's what the thing said, and we are Christian people. We don't fight them Muslims because them people grow with them people too.
Yes.
But we are a Christian nation and there are certain fundamentals that His Majesty push out. And me go Ethiopia, I mean, I tell you, Christian and Muslim are side by side. And you see when the Christians do the same thing,
yes,
the Muslims do it.
Yeah.
When the Muslims do the same thing, the Christian did it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not the issue. The issue is whether you're a Christian or not.
Yes.
So me come now to big up that brother, him sound like an elder. I come to big him up. Every time him come from Bess show, him talk about the teachings of His Majesty so people can hear and understand. It's not a joke business. Go back and read the book them.
All
the
right.
problem with the people nowadays, nobody now read. They want everything on them phone. They want everything on a screen. So that never, that the version might have to do. Push out 1 and 2 verse and push out 1 and 2 chapters.
Yeah, man, people are doing it. They do small videos. Anyway, thank you, my brother. I have someone else holding.
Big up Bess FM. Bo.
All right. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Morning Connection. Morning.
Good morning. Greetings to both of you. My name is Asta Black.
Ah, Ras Asta, thank you so much for holding too. Greetings.
Yeah, man. You know, the way you not talk about trick.
Yes.
I think the biggest trick on Rastafari is not getting involved and vote to bring forward a righteous government if we so think that the government isn't right.
True.
Well said. Very well said. And that's our call out this morning.
So Rastafari taking the trick, whether they because right now the leader of our people here in Jamaica is the Prime Minister, who, if we voted for him or did not vote for him, he is
the Prime Minister. Mm-hmm.
And so if the guy sit and wait and watch the politicians give out things, and he stand by and watch everything, he should start calling out some names, man, so that we can identify who is the trickster.
It's true.
You know,
and it's not.
They just come on radio and just talk that they see politicians doing ABC, but can't point a finger.
Yeah. But you made an important point. It's not only Rasta, it is also Christians who have said, let them go and do what they do. And it has
we're not of the world.
Yeah, but I'm telling them no. This is where the first manifestation of the kingdom must happen. And we cannot pull back from what is out there, because if we're not involved in it, you can't say nothing at all. So we need to be involved in every area, because that is not the God that we serve. If you understand.
Yes, he's everywhere.
And because I speak as a Rastafari, I speak of Rastafari, and we're Rastafari all we need. We are the influence of Jamaica. Rastafari is the influence of Jamaica. People come to Jamaica, no matter what color, class, or whatever, they come to Jamaica, and it's because of Rastafari, without any apology.
Yes, sir, that is true. I mean, I'm one of the persons who feel that we should not withdraw from participation in the society. And if we withdraw, then we can have no comment or dissatisfaction with how things play out. I mean, you're free to do or not to do, but if you choose not to do, then you have to live with anything that is spun up out of the chaos.
True. I'm at this stage now when Rastafari or Christians start talking politics to me. The first thing I ask them if they have a voter's ID and do they vote. If not, I have nothing to say to you. Right. Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And the brethren talk about NIDS. I look at NIDS. Yes, we have Social Security, we have voter ID, we have all of these things, but you know nowadays you have to have 2 different telephones, because you have to have a digital card and a flow card. So it's best if you just have one document that identify you. If you go to start a bank account, you can just deal with it just like it's modern time now. It's like you don't want to run around with 2 telephones, like one in one ear and one in the other, because it's 2 different SIM cards.
Those days are gone.
One document to let you can open up a bank account much easier. That's where we need to be. It is
agreed, my dear. It's agreed.
Right. Now look at the music. Now it look like the dance. I saw this video going around where the boy defending himself from a desk.
An adult.
Coming up.
Yes, I saw it.
Can you imagine that when you go to dance hall now, because the music is so fast, and you're drinking the rum and boom, it make you hype. So any little thing you throw a buckle or you throw a chair or you throw something, so it look like that lady was like involved in dance hall at night and learn how to throw a chair. She said through a desk, but not even a chair, a desk, and the little boy had to defend himself.
Desk. So,
I wonder what provoked the lady to do that. Something happened in the classroom.
Yeah, the dancer, she came out of the night before.
Yeah, make fun of it, Rasta.
No, but you know, a teacher, an adult, don't pick up a desk to throw at a boy.
Yeah.
And then the big people now kick the kid out of school.
Oh, that's what happened?
How is he going to learn? How is he going to learn if they say he's not supposed to get charged and not supposed to? Is the desk, the guy was just defending himself from that desk.
That hasn't actually happened, though. You're just theorizing that there's a world in which that child could end up being expelled because he's defending himself.
Well, it's to that video what I see. I might be wrong, but it looked like he was defending himself.
Yes, he it looks like he was defending himself. But I'm saying I don't see how the child in that video could become the victim of any kind of penalty based on what is there, because he was defending himself against a physical attack.
Yeah, so I hope he stay focused and continue defending himself and stand up for his right. And there's other ways to study. YouTube is good, and you just find something to do, man. And just learn. You can learn from the internet.
You know, before we run to conclusions, because some of the times a lot of these things are curated to give a certain effect, you know? So I personally would love to know what happened before, what caused that to happen before we run to make conclusions. Because that is the power of social media. You just get a clip when you see that, you go and you see what happened before, you say, okay, this is what happened. But it's unfortunate because the adult in the situation must always take the high ground. And if that happens, you look for additional help. You don't take it on, because in the end, they're going to say, you are the adult. You should not have responded in that way. It reminds me of what happened at Percival High School. I think sometime last year, and there was a major thing about it with inquiry and so on. And we just have to be careful in terms of running to conclusions. All right?
Well, it's not really a conclusion, you know. It is what is seen.
It's an opinion based on what is seen. Yeah, that's what it is for me too. And it doesn't augur well for either side, because if that's a classroom and that's a teacher or a mother, it's obviously an adult woman. That is not the kind of interaction that one should be provoked into or step into.
Yeah.
And there's no wonder when you hear about the teachers kind of, dying and the stress of the situation that under which they work sometimes. Can't be good for anybody's health.
It is stressful.
It is stressful.
And, it's a way we have to adapt to today's lifestyle.
Yes.
We have to teach young people the easiest way for the young person to learn at this time, because they are going through stress too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, my brother. True. We have another caller on the line that we want to take. So I thank you for calling us. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thanks. Respect. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning to you and your co-host.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, first thing first, for both of you now. I would like to share the following views. Vision, another medium mystic display, characterize the origin of most, if not all, religion. What you're saying it?
The vision,
another medium mystic display, characterize the origin of most, if not all, religion. What your observation and defending?
What is the word? Vision is something
another medium mystic display characterize the origin of most, if not all, religion.
Medium mystic? I don't understand that phrase.
Display. All right, I could leave out the word medium mystic if it target in a problem.
So vision is important, yes. Yes,
you're very important, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right? Vision characterize most, if not all, religion. The origin, the beginning of all religion. Most, if not all, religion. Leave out the medium mystic part of it.
Yes.
I could tell you about Samuel and the lady who bring up Samuel to accommodate Saul attendance at our.
Oh, you mean the meal? Okay, yeah.
But bro, I'm going at that. I could deal with the vision part of it. Any comment? What your observation?
Yes, vision, definitely.
All right. Would you agree that most living religion has been impacted by acculturation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Copy culture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And Mr. Asta Black, he's now a member of the Labour Party.
He says he's not. On occasion, he denied it being so.
No, but people say they have evidence to the effect that he is evidence to the contrary that he is a member.
Yeah, I mean, Potiphar's wife says she had evidence too.
Yeah, I remember that because you see, Rastaman has been stigmatized and isolated for a long time, and now they have been brought into mainstream society. Other people who don't profess Rasta, but they have the dreadlocks. The Rastas stand by and in a circle, and I watch them. So far, I've been isolated.
Is that a general comment or a comment about Asta Black?
No, rather a general comment. But
right,
a general comment could bring him in at the loop too. You know, say when a person make a general statement, you know, it could impact anybody else, you know.
Well, I'm holding to an acceptance of what he said to me on this program.
Yeah. I've never heard what he said to you.
He denied the allegations by others that he is a supporter of or a candidate of or the Jamaica Labour Party. And he spoke some words about why persons are saying that, but he says it is not so.
But he's not denying that as a Rastafari, they have accepted the crumbs that are the fragments that have been shown in their direction to other people.
Well, that is such a loaded sandwich.
Yes, yeah.
We'd have to put that one to him specifically.
Yeah.
But you know, for example, I spoke about an interaction with the Prime Minister that took place last week, Thursday, and this morning someone said the Prime Minister shook my hand and I felt good. That was how someone interpreted all that I had said. So it is not unusual that persons will form their own interpretation of the things that we say when we say that. So
anyway, we look forward for the Rastafari Bible, but we don't want it to be too acculturated with copy.
Yes.
Most religion copy upon the one.
Are you a Rastaman?
Yes. And it's imperial modesty in Africa and Jamaican. Someone has said that Ethiopia has become a symbol of black freedom to many Jamaicans ever since Selassie was crowned its emperor in 1930. And according to them, they also said that to these Jamaicans who subsequently or who afterwards become known as the Rastafarian, Selassie crowning was a fulfillment of a statement said to have been made by Miss Marcus Garvey. Said to have been made, you know.
Look to Africa.
So Marcus Garvey, it has not been confirmed. Officially, it has not been confirmed by Marcus Garvey. So it has said to have been made.
And the moment
that one that people understand, right?
And the moment for confirmation has passed.
Yeah, that the people should look to Africa where a black man would be crowned. But some people seem to have taken it further and say that Selassie is the reincarnate Christ. Right?
Well, one thing I know, even as you are expressing your opinion on these statements, I know that a lot of persons have expressed their opinion on Jamaican psychology, Jamaican behavior, identity, and so on, and those opinions are a surprise to the same self-Jamaicans. Many things have been said about us that we don't, with which we don't agree, and it reflects more the perspective of the speaker or the opinion maker than of the subject whom they are purporting to study.
Yes, but I can confirm. I can tell you. I went to funeral and 12 tribes people really emphasize that Selassie, according to their belief and opinion, is the reincarnated Christ. But look, I'm going to look further now. You know that at least history point to one, only one prime minister who visited Ethiopia and Chatham Island in particular, You know, said jump up to where Mr. Holness was in America, big up some Jamaican in the diaspora. And not one prime minister away from the Monday in 1769 who go Africa, go big up some people, go address some people in the Chatham Island. So more, and you know, so some a fellow talk show said something, you know, that Michael Manley wanted to go to Africa, to Ethiopia when he was prime minister, but don't even say that nobody never invited him there. Because you know, so when you're a world leader, you know, you can just walk in and tell a world leader country like that.
Yeah, as a tourist. Yes.
Yeah, you have to be invited officially.
Yes.
So I don't know where the gentleman got that.
Let us see. We are paying for Kamina Johnson-Smith to be Secretary General of the Commonwealth. So who knows?
We are paying.
We are paying. We are paying. Paying, yes.
Is it the Ministry of
Foreign Affairs? Jamaica Authority, Jamaica government have to pay the campaign, campaign.
Yes, for the very word campaign. And she said when the campaign is finished, we will get the full cost of the bill that we foot. So, so who knows?
Still wish I will, despite other things to the country, I still wish I will as a Jamaican, you know. If she did go up against the PNP, then it would be a different fish with me.
Well,
pick up yourself and thanks for listening.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Sir. Good morning. Welcome.
We have somebody online. Today perhaps in history, as I talk about Michael Manley, he was visited by the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church on June 7th.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
What year?
1973.
1973.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting because of what the caller just said, that Manley wanted to do a state visit to Ethiopia. Well, that's why I said with Kamina at the head of the Commonwealth, I'm sure there'll be many state visits, hopefully funded by the Commonwealth Secretariat as the relationship is with Africa deepens. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning. How you all doing?
Very well, thank you.
Hi, Rusty. How are you?
Not bad, Pastor. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yes. Listen, I'll ask you a question, you see?
Mm-hmm.
If your pastor is campaigning to be host on that program there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mean campaigning for a vote, like, you know, somebody going to vote for you to be on that station, right?
Yes.
And you come and say, well, I support Miss Pastor, I support Miss Minett to be the host of the station.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I support one on the boss.
Yes.
Let me say, Miss Minett, I carry to be the host. That means I support you.
Yes.
But the same thing Rasta Boss said when in an election, same carrying Mr. Holness to be the Prime Minister. So if you say that, no more support you, I support him.
Yeah, but maybe he meant he could mean he's supporting Mr. Holness personally, like when Mr. Samuda moved from one side to the next, and the voters, his constituency, move with him. His constituents are devoted to Samuda, and any party he goes to gets their support, but it's not really the party that they're choosing. tell me what is the importance to you of Rasta Black's personal politics?
But when election over, the man come and boast and we don't get into a slice, you know.
So then you know what he was in it for.
He come and boast after election. Or we get his story slice, get his tourism license.
I know, so I'm saying if a man make a strategic move to get something for himself, that says a lot about his motivation.
Look here, Miss Minett and Pat.
Yes.
Look here.
That sounds like he's an opportunist.
Look here. Rasta Tabas was a man who was running for himself, you know.
Well.
As an independent candidate, you know.
Yes.
And the man switched and gone up on the JLP side.
So tell me, I want to know something. I want to know something, Rusty, because we're talking about one man's politics, and I'm not really interested in one man's politics because that man isn't setting anything for you and me.
I'm not saying, you know, he must go up on the JLP side, and that's not what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, what you say?
He can't go in any party he want to go.
And he can change his mind.
But if you come out and talk, then support the party in the last general election and don't try to take us for a fool.
Okay.
All right. You want to stay while we take the break, Rusty? It's 9:32.
Okay.
Please, because you know we love talking to you. Hold on for me.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
One in. A hurricane we name. And we rough. Whether we are man hurricane or woman hurricane. We want you know that. We come here to mash up building, blow down things and take life. Flood out place. We no ram. We no respect no one. So no take no chance with we. Listen to Adprem and prepare. Hurricanes do happen, so be prepared. Yes, be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Vijan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vijan Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats. Bess FM.
All right, welcome back. Rusty,
yes.
I'm listening.
Yes. You remember one man when them called Tom to bar Sims all Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
You remember that man used to be all over the place and couldn't win a
Yes, you remember, right? He reminds you of him?
You remember old Tom?
Yes, man. He's now the president of the Senate.
Like Miss Minett, I remember old Tom.
No, but I remember it well.
I remember Miss Kaya call him Old Tom. I just imagine how he would receive that.
Yes. Old Tom used to be all over the place, you know. Come on, in my ear right now and lose, you know. Never win. So it's as serious like Astabas. Astabas coming like Mr. Bruce Bowling, you know.
Hold on a minute. Did Tom ever win an election?
No, he never won. Never won a seat.
Old Tom never win nothing. Old Tom, them throw Old Tom all both over the place.
Hoping it would stick somewhere.
Them fling him from place, them fling him from place to place. Old Tom never win a seat. Old Tom retire and never win a seat. So the same thing with Rasta Black. He go all over the place. Like a Mr. Bruce Bowling.
Well, listen.
Go all over the place and form a party. Probably Mr. Bruce Bowling is scared with the end game, you know. He might have
read somewhere. Listen, Rusty, if I'm ever in any kind of campaign, I want you to support me, okay?
Yeah.
Any campaign I'm in, I want you to be on my side. I would not want you to be on the other side of me.
Yes, Miss Minett, I will be on the side, but if you're not consistent, you know, me have a walk on left, you know.
Oh, I promise you I will be consistent. That we will have no argument on that one.
If you have to take up something, I may follow you with something and then me look you switch for the thing. Where you not left me if you don't know? Where you left me?
No, I would expect you to go to cuss me and do exactly what you're doing now. So
Integrity.
we have an agreement on that. I would be consistent. Rasta Black put a note on the chat here that I want to share with you. He says it took him from PNP to JLP governance to get a JTB license, 5 years.
Look here.
Yes.
One time, I heard them ask someone on a program, you know, if more go back in a JLP, and the person, the man say, you know, if you go back in a JLP like a dog, to its vomit.
To its vomit.
That somebody said that, you know, I remember.
And then he went back?
The person said, if him go back into the JLP like a dog to its vomit.
Did he go back? Because dogs repeatedly go back to their vomit.
No, but he said so Sunday and by the time Monday was right back into
There you go. There you go. The man was actually predicting his next move. You can be sure that a dog returns to its vomit.
Yeah. And then so when you look at all these things, you know, this minute, that's why I'm not telling you, the politics turn me off completely. You know?
Yeah, we have bad politics, Rusty. Yeah. We do have bad politics. I hear people say that the politics are the people. No, the politics is bad. There is a way to do things and have processes that are better, that have integrity, and that produce good results.
Look at the PNP. The PNP is silent. We're not hearing nothing from the PNP. So what we tell you now? If you go back and vote for it and put it back in power,
because we have
vice versa from the JLP to the PNP. Vice versa.
Yeah. But you see, what's missing in that, what we're talking about now, you know, is we have the power to create more options for ourselves. We do have that power. But if we don't use it, we're going to be left with... You know why the dog go back to his vomit? Because when he's hungry and there's nothing left to eat, that is what he does.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
So desperation and lack of opportunities, lack of options will take you back to your vomit. So when that man said it, you know...
Okay, leave it alone.
Leave it right there. That's why he goes back to his vomit.
But I call the person name, you know.
Yes. Yeah, because the truth of it is that could be anybody, you know. That can be anybody who don't have options, who don't have a choice.
And that has been
See,
their life.
Rasta Black is on the chat saying it took him 5 years to get the license, even as he moved between PNP, JLP governance, and he's still having a hard time.
Him get him license, man. Him come saying get him on a hard
Yeah,
time.
he got it, but him get the license, but the license is only one piece of a recipe that you need in order to make a good cake. Talking about cake.
Recipe.
Yeah. After you have the license, then you need to be at the table for the marketing. You need the investment to build the infrastructure. You need access to money on reasonable terms. Some people seem to have access to every kind of dollar at the lowest cost, while others can't even open a bank account. And so it has been.
Yeah. The other thing is this, you know, if I start with working still, I fight against him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Well, you don't sound like a fight against kind of man.
But when I say, if I start to stay in one constituency, probably in time would have come.
Okay, you're talking about patience and perseverance.
Right. But you know, all these things are environmental, because you can be staying in one constituency and you are the lone voice. Because these things require unity. That's what Percy and I were talking about. People have to be united under some common banners, cause, principles, whatever, to make a difference, because you and I can't do it all. And we might believe in all the right things, but we are alone in it. And we need the other people to come on board.
And buy into the vision.
No, but remember, you know, we don't do things to give up, you know. if you go there, anything you do, it's not going to be easy, you know, this.
True.
Anything a person do, it's not going to be easy, you know.
If it is of any good, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you believe in something, if you stick to what you believe in.
I agree with that.
I agree with that 100% because
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And in Rasta case, that is not the case.
Okay.
Well, what is clear, he believes in politics. And him stick in politics. All right, Rusty, I have another caller. I don't want you to distract me to the point where I'd forget the other callers.
I didn't want to talk on the Commonwealth thing, but let's stage another time, right?
Or yes, please, because I do have another call to take. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome.
But if I do wait for this caller to come on, I'm like, last Rusty. Government to advance integration of
Rusty, please call
schools.
back right now. All right, speak it into being. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have a call online.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, morning.
Good morning. You catch the last bell.
Rusty, why, Rusty, you bring me back to memory lane, Rusty. Rusty.
What did Rusty wake up
I
now?
remember when that man said, oh, what a way, why are so nice. And then put up the something and block off the two finger them. And say, why are so nice? But the man who lead the party said to them, say, you see him, we can't tell him nothing, we can't make him know nothing. You see when him say him now get no traction, him run go back. So you have to remember that, Rusty.
Yeah, and that's why I said some people,
of expediency.
You might be committed to being included and fighting for a space at the table. So the table big, it have two sides, and you keep positioning yourself. Yeah.
What's he talking about, you know?
Huh?
Insurance. Asta Black.
Yes.
Him is a confused person.
You know him personally? You've met him?
I'm not know me on program and me out against him Rasta friend them.
Yeah.
And them tell who are big from who not big. And then not only that. You know.
And you don't call him opinionated or some people say he's a maverick. You call him confused.
He's a confused person, man.
Okay.
So it's not consistent in terms
of
his confusion.
Went over to that side.
Yeah.
And he was a part of that movement. But like maybe I use them, maybe I'm smart too.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe use semantics from them. Over there to him want and wonder where we should enter we see him again.
You can ask him.
Where is he now?
All right, I'll invite him on the program one morning.
Yes, really.
Yeah, because I tell you, each time he calls, there are a number of follow-up calls that challenge either his philosophy or his commitment or something else. So he's clearly a person who is of interest. Not like how the police make people of interest.
Just a minute. I don't know if you can pass a person pick up something. It looks like him had a favorite something this in the morning. They say it's nice.
You're too bad. All right. Thank you, my friend.
Pastor Percy,
yes,
a long time I hear you play our song, where did we lose our
identity? You know that is Pastor's song. Although he's giving Buju Banton some love these days, so.
No man, I introduce Pastor to that and him love it can't do.
Yeah, him love it.
Just a correction. You never introduced me to it. You just brought it back. You reminded me of it. As I said, my brother was now deceased. Yes. Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Rasta Black say it work. I don't know what work, but. Oh, there's a call on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Our last call for today.
Yes, morning again, family. I just want to push into correction.
Yes.
I will be corrected, but Michael Manley did go to Ethiopia and meet His Majesty, and then they come back with a rod.
Okay.
Oh, that's where he got the rod. That's true. He
I will
did
stand
go.
to be corrected. I will stand to be corrected, but that is my memory that man let go to Ethiopia and meet His Majesty.
We shall confirm it, because I do recall that he had the rod of Joshua.
Joshua,
Yes.
And then now the other day, Portia Simpson went to Ethiopia and meet the people. So again, I will be corrected, but that is the history that I have.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We can check that.
Yeah, and then now we hear the person talk about the 12 tribe of Israel, that 12 tribe of Israel say His Majesty is Christ.
Reincarnation of Christ.
No, that is nothing like that. Our greeting is simple. We greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is this day revealed in the personality of His Imperial Majesty.
Yes.
So we are not saying that His Majesty is Christ.
Listen
That's
to me.
impossible.
I tell you, my brother. You know when
but to us, we see Him in the personality. So now when you look for the Godhead on earth, we see His Majesty.
All right.
But we don't pray. Nobody in 12 tribe of Israel pray to His Majesty. That is foolishness.
All right. But of course, you realize that other persons in the 12 tribes may express it somewhat differently and cause confusion.
Well, that is their problem.
Yes.
We were there from in the earlies, and we come up and we see. And even when the prophet moved to the other country, them, because we in 17 different places, you know. It's the same message. You anywhere in the 12 tribe meeting, you get the same greeting. We greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. There's no other name that you can save by. And we don't want. You see, to it up on the radio, we just want to be in the correction quick.
Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I have one more call to take, and then we're heading out of here. Thank you, my brother. Have a great day. Give thanks. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning. Since my last call, I'm going to talk fast.
Yeah, man.
Morning, Pastor.
Morning, man.
Just a minute.
Yes.
I heard you quoting an emperor this morning. Who is that emperor? Who is that person?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not me.
You mean eat cake,
Yes,
you mean?
you
Marie Antoinette?
You keep on quoting an emperor like somebody says something and you call him an emperor.
Oh, on my chat, on the live chat, there is a listener who's Emperor Theophilus.
I thought it was some speech that Selassie made and you refused from Selassie. So you keep on saying the emperor.
Thank you for pointing that out, because when I'm reading from the chat, I didn't even understand that I could create confusion. Yeah, no, man, is one of the listeners, Emperor Theophilus. That said greetings for Lowell.
You need to say that. Emperor Theophilus. You keep on saying the emperor. So
then you thought the emperor was
talking about.
So you thought the emperor was sending greetings to my husband.
I didn't hear that part.
Oh, you missed that one. Okay. So you're not listening carefully to my show. Go on, talk.
Sometimes the radio chip out, down here right now. It's chipping out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is Kabu. I think we need about 10 more women like Kabu in this country right now.
Kabu.
You hearing me?
Yes. My producer want to know, why are you talking about Kabu on this program?
Because I listen to her.
Okay.
So
Could you get her to work on this program sometime too?
Are you on her program telling her she need 10 more minutes?
I can't get to her. I cannot get to her. I tried to, but I can't get to her. I can't get to call him. Yes, I would.
You would tell her.
But I can't get any number to her. I call their station and I can't get through.
It really would be a wonderful thing if persons would do interviews with each other on the different stations and link up, because it's one world and it's one energy.
Yes, one world, and we need everybody to come together
Let me see if I can get Miss Kabu to come entertain you on this program.
No, we need like Muta, Jerry, and you and Kabu to go out together and have some meeting to take back these lands.
Okay.
And show the people in the right way.
Yeah.
And the wrong.
You got me with the needs, and I'm definitely gonna do the needs. So please get your $5,000 ready.
Hopefully me have him on. Me always have an extra like that.
Yeah. I love you, my brother. All right, take care.
As we we close and we spoke about education, Patterson is going around doing this tour for the next 10 days. Looking
this is
at his
former Prime Minister.
No, Orlando Patterson.
Orlando. We have so many.
Yeah, right, about his report.
Yeah.
And he's saying there's some TVET, but small scale, and I can tell that's true. But he says what we need to do is like what I've spoken about Germany, there's Denmark, Singapore, and other high-performance countries to incorporate TVET in the regular system. It cannot be the bastard cousin because of our system. You have to ensure that the young people are exposed to TVET so they have a skill when they leave in high school. And that has been their...
So TVET is vocational training.
Training, yeah.
Skills.
Vocation.
What you guys were talking about, the technical schools.
The technical school.
Today.
That's what triggered it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a very relevant part of how we educate.
It has to be, yeah. Well, we've come to the end of a very interesting program today with the chat. And we're confusing the people
and
about
also
Emperor.
with the callers.
Yes, man.
Because we
the
got
chat and the calls and
Emperor Theophilus.
Yes.
You're large in this morning's program. But thank you to all those who've been writing online, and we just love the fact that you're engaging with us on these topics. They're not what do you call it now? They're not trendy or exciting in the salacious way. It's not gossip. It's not educational. But it's very much mindset connected change to how we are changing mindsets. So I thank you for taking the journey with us. Tomorrow morning we'll be here, God willing. It is our morning for prayer. So we ask that, of course, you come prepared to be a part of the intercession, remembering that the prayer is as much for the person offering the prayer as for those who are listening, because through our words, it is our desire to change minds and bring about a course of action that will really benefit the country. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Not sure what you're saying, but we need financial support.
Yeah, we're getting sponsors soon. We're going to begin to see some new ones emerging.
Right. Advertise with us.
Yes.
We're campaigning hard because we do want you to support the station so we can do more of the work that matters.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer and Pastor Percival. Thank you so much for journeying with me. This is the Morning Connection signing out. Walk good.
Now, where did we lose our identity? Naya Bingi, Bobo Shanti. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ay, 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 ay.
No one said big up yourself.
Hey, hey.
So like I
Hey, hey, listen, the blood of African kings run in my vein. Here in Jamaica, rebellious offspring. We've got a warrior spirit inside. From that time, we can't change. And this a warrior spirit inside. It come for break every shackle and chain. Mana Shaka Zulu, Bigni, and Kuma, Bigni, Kunta Kinte, Bigni. Looks like Malcolm and Martin and Marcus and Fire, Kuma, Marcus Garvey family. Ancestors no leave me. Naya Bingi, Bobo Shanti. Marcus Garvey family. Ancestors no leave me. Naya Bingi, Bobo Shanti. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh, oh. Ay, 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 ay. Hey, hey. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, oh. Hey, hey, listen, the blood of African kings run in my vein. Here in Jamaica, rebellious offspring. We've got a warrior spirit inside. From that time, we can't change. And this a warrior